the end of the day, when all of you biatches are talking about the man gotta make more, he gotta step up, more, it's not right, it's not fair, oh my God, you're poor, you're a bum, crusty, crusty, ashy. We're not gonna settle. No settling. I'm not gonna settle. No settling. Not gonna settle. No settling. Not gonna settle. No settling. Not gonna settle. Hey, not gonna settle. Got a new song, y'all. Anyway, got it. Settling. Not gonna settle. No settling. Not gonna settle. No settling. Not gonna settle. Hey, not gonna settle. Oh my God. Settling. Not gonna settle. No settling. Not gonna settle. No settling. Not gonna settle. Hey, not gonna settle. Oh my God. Oh my God. Settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. Hey, not gonna settle. Oh my God. Settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. Hey, not gonna settle. Oh my God. Settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. Hey, not gonna settle. Oh my God. Settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. No settling, not gonna settle. Hey, not gonna settle. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You got put on y'all breast, booty, thighs, lips. That's the word on the hook.
Breast, booty, thighs, lips. That's the worm on the hook, y'all, in case you didn't know. Breast, booty. Breast, booty, thighs, 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 booty, thighs, lips, booty, thighs, booty, thighs, lips, booty, booty, thighs, lips, booty, thighs, booty, thighs, lips.
Lost each other. Yes, I'm speaking to you. Lost each other. Where you fleeing to? Lost each other. Yes, I'm speaking to you. Must each other. Where you fleeing to? I got into my Uber. What did I see?
Lord, 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 nothing I did, nothing I tried, nothing I smoked, nothing I snorted, nothing I drank, no man I did, no one did me, nothing did me any good. Oh Lord, even that food, the food I put in my mouth wouldn't help me, Lord.
My man.
I put your pink, my booty hole brown. What a nigga, I'm looking for the hoes. Quit playing nigga, come suck a bitch toes. Pound town, just left pound town. Put your pink, my booty
Be my man.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
No. 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 Hell no. No. No.
Oh my God. Wow.
You're the kind of woman that I could give a lot of game. As much as you retire, love, well, maybe you don't have to ask. And I'd give you love. Hey, that's that jam. I'll buy your clothes. I would cook your dinner too. Soon as I get home from work.
I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said, cause I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. Then Joy Reid is probably the same.
I don't have a problem with.
Then Joy Reid is probably the same. She's from the Congo, you know.
I don't have a problem with.
For her family in the United States.
She could do what she wanted to.
Huh? For her family in the United States.
She could do what she wanted to.
What kind of shit is that?
Shut up, bitch.
I don't have a problem with.
You're the kind of woman that I could give a lot of game. As much as you retire, love, well, maybe you don't have to ask. And I'd give you love. Hey, that's that jam. I'll buy your clothes. I would cook your dinner too. Soon as I get home from work.
Joy Reid.
That thing fine, boy.
Sweetie.
Oh, no, you said.
Bitch. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
Joy Reid? No. No.
Clip. That's what I'm talking about. Talk your shit, nigga.
Boy, what the fuck?
Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain, where there are no more fuck ups to shut.
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Go where you're being a racist! Racist!
What kind of shit is that?
We're done. We're finished.
We like free stuff. Huh? So we came out here to get all this free stuff. Huh? But then the call saying you can't get the free stuff. What? Cause the people want to take it. And how y'all gonna take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product?
The tools, any other eviction.
Slaves built the pyramids. Slaves built the Parthenon. Slaves built America. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Thank you. Slaves. Slaves, this is your song. Thank you.
We're done. We're done. We're finished.
Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. Beyonce.
Carry on.
Dance party with Beyonce. Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Hold up.
Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Hey there, besties, we back. Hopefully you can hear me, child, because you know I forgot to go ahead and pair the damn earpiece. Hopefully it lasts a little longer than it did earlier today. Shout out to all of y'all that were here earlier today. We did the damn thing earlier. Shout out to y'all if you were here. If you weren't, that's your homework to go back and take a look, because that was a very good stream. Corey Holcomb talking about Barack, Barry, Sotomayor, child, whatever the last name is for that man, and his mama who ain't black, and his father who ain't black, and then the man is Indonesian that he got the name from. It's too much, y'all. It's too much. I'm still feeling some kind of way. I don't think that worked. Hold on a second. Hold on. Pair, connect. Connecting. All right, now I want to act like you want to act crazy. I tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's something else. But anyway, so we back because it is a whole white people Wednesday, and one of the whitest people we know is out here running off at the mouth, and that would be Hunter Biden. Well, if Hunter want to talk, then I guess we gonna listen, because you know what I'm thinking, right? Because I've heard little bits of this, a little bits of that on what it is that he was saying. This nigga think he can be president. I'm telling you, everybody just think they can be president, y'all. Maybe this damn thing is just dead. Maybe I should plug it up. I'm telling you, everybody thinks that they can be president now. I'm telling you, allegedly, Shelley wants to run for president. Allegedly. And Hunter thinks he can run for president. Allegedly. Everybody run for president. I'm running for president. Fuck it. I might as well. I'm going to be independent. I'm going to have Cornel West as my vice president, and hopefully we can go ahead and do the damn thing. Because clearly, anybody at this point thinks that they can be president. Even though everybody thinks they can be pregnant too, child. Let me turn this off because I got to charge it a little bit. Anyway, so we got to get as much, we can get through as much as I can, child, because this shit is 3 hours long, and I'm pretty sure that I do not want to listen to a crackhead that daggone long, okay? I'm just saying. It looks like everybody is live right now. I don't know if Wednesday is a hot commodity day or what, but we're going to press on through, okay? So shout out to all of y'all that are here. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. We're open on both channels. Everyone can get in as long as you're a subscriber. So go ahead and subscribe to this daggone channel. Get into this daggone chat because it's the best chat on YouTube. They are half damn crazy all the damn time. And y'all was going off earlier today. So shout out to the chat from earlier. If you missed it, you missed it. We had almost 300 people in here. So that is amazing. So I appreciate y'all. We got shit to do. All right. Shout out to Death the Reaper, the first super chat. Where's our girl Almanage, child? Shout out to Reaper. Appreciate you. Said I might have to change the name. Crack Pipe Chronicles. Hit the like button, please. Yes, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. That is a great title, though. So you never know. I just might change it. But before we get into the crackhead, you know I got to bring you some trill. All right. Let me find it on here because you know we're on the countdown to Sunday when I go to see tonight's conversation and get my own personal meet and greet with Trill. Okay. So I know there's a bunch of crusty, dusty, musty, rusty, ashy ass bums up in here that don't be liking what Trill has to say, but there will be no Trill slander in this chat. None. We're going to hear what he has to say over here on Facebook. So it says, dating a woman with her own bag is fun. Y'all let me know what you think, but there will be no Trill slander here. Yeah, none. Okay, come on, Trill. Shy.
That got her own bag is fun as hell, bro. Like, it just is. Like, it's just, when both of y'all showing up and money is just not a concern, like, we just doing what we want to do. Random side quests and adventures and, hey, let's go here. Hey, let's do this. You understand? And it ain't no pressure how much something costs. It ain't no pressure. Like, all right, I done paid for the last 2-3 dates. It's her turn, or vice versa. You know, money is not even a discussion. It's not even an issue. Like, we just literally linking and having fun because we enjoy spending time with each other. There's no pressure on it. You understand? Also, as a man, I think it forces you to show up with something more than, you know, surface level things. She's not going to be that impressed with your jewelry. She's not going to be that impressed with your money or where you live or whatever, because she has a nice car too. She has a nice place to live too. Her lifestyle is comfortable too. So it's going to make you kind of dig in your bag as far as substance or depth to be able to, you know, really lock in mentally and relate to each other. But man, it's going to be fun, bro. Like, dating a woman that got her own bag is fun as hell.
So I know plenty of y'all crust, dust, must, rust, ashy ass bums feel some kind of way because he said it, but I'm trying to understand what the hell the problem is. As long as the biatch, and I said that, got something going on and they in your face talking about, I gotta make all this money, you gotta make all this money, I make all this money and you ain't shit, you gotta do this. That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying, okay? I'm gonna need y'all to hear and stop just trying to come at my guy, all right? We're not doing that, Kennard. It's not the foodie guy again, okay? What he's saying is he don't want to be dating no broke bitches. He said it's all good when you can date a woman that's got something and you ain't got to worry about, well, I paid for it, you paid for it, or any other bullshit. Or I ain't gonna name no names now. I ain't gonna name no names. Dealing with people that be like, I need the Wi-Fi password. You a whole ass woman with all these kids. You coming over here to ask this man for the damn, not Wi-Fi child, whatever it is, that child. The Disney password, that's what it was. I need the Disney password. Bitch, you can't afford your own Disney. You can't afford your own HBO Max. Child, that shit is less than $20 a month and you can't afford that. That's who y'all like dating. That's what you're really saying, ain't it? That's what y'all really like at the end of the day. So 1 minute you mad at the woman that be like, I got all this money, you gotta make all this money. And then you mad at this bitch who over here who gonna ask you for the Wi-Fi password. Child, I'm gonna just keep calling it that. But you like this girl over here asking me for the Wi-Fi password. Which one is it? Which one is it? Pleasing. I be confused, child. I be confused. Shout out to CIP. I appreciate you. He said heading to a meeting. You working, child? It's 6:30. Besties, hit the like, mods, hold it down. Shout out to CIP. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Who watches Disney? The kids. That's what I'm saying. You got kids. You got your own freaking, you a single mom and you over here asking this nigga for the Disney password. Cause if he stopped paying for it, then what you gonna do? This what y'all like. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm hearing. Because if you got a problem with what he just said, then that means that that's what you like. So you want them to depend on you. Then you be mad that they be looking for shit from you. This is what I was talking about when I was down in Annapolis and we was by the docks. Y'all know daggone well that you like that shit, because then it's like, oh, well, then she's going to have to depend on me. Child, what are we talking about, y'all? Kennard, stop it. CIP said, always dated Dusties. This sounds like a nice change of pace. That's what I'm saying. Y'all just too busy trying to be mad at Trill over here. I can't. Mike says, Messy, I don't mind a chick having her own. Thank you for your honesty. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she out here talking about what I got, what you got, what I got, what you got. You gotta do, you gotta. No, not that bitch. Okay, like I'm a sugar mama. Okay, you saw me. I had to pay for Trinidad the other night. Okay, maybe he's the Dusty at the end of the day. Okay, not a big deal. Imagine if it was somebody like the regular. Imagine if it's the girl that needs the Wi-Fi password. They out here, right? We're out here. We'll just say we all out here, right? And then it's like, child, I don't have enough money. And then she'd be like, oh, I don't have enough money either. Girl, what? or I forgot my wallet. And she'd be like, I don't have enough money. I only have $40. Where'd she get that $40 from? Anyway, I only have $40. The bill is $80. You were certainly eating and drinking. Now you can't even pay the damn bill. Child, just give me the Netflix. I saw somebody say it. The Netflix password, child. That's all I'm looking for today. You figure out this bill because I got to go home to the kids. I'm just saying. That's the type of women that y'all like. And then y'all be out here complaining. And Trinidad definitely does. Yes. No, he didn't get beat up on the beach. I got beat up on the beach. What are we talking about? Shatara, Trill is one of the speakers for tonight's conversation. Tonight's conversation is that relationship on the road show where the people come up and ask them questions and the people on the panel answer the questions. So I'm going to their show on Sunday in Philly. So leading up to it, I'm going to get to meet Rick. I'm going to get to meet Trill by way of Rick because Rick set it up that I will get to meet him. So I'm so excited. So hopefully I get to meet Kitty and, I don't necessarily care about the rest of them, but, it'd be cool. So hopefully I can record and see what's going on and bring something back to y'all. But that's what I'm doing on Sunday. So every time that I stream in the evening, I'm going to show a Trillism is what I call it. So all the dudes around here, most of them seem to have an issue because Trill be coming out here with some common sense stuff and they still complaining. I can't take it. Anyway, moving on before we get to the white people. There is an update on Malcolm Jamal Warner. So it actually says that Malcolm Jamal Warner was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter when he drowned, unfortunately, y'all. So this is as of 3:20 today. MJ Dub was not alone when he drowned in Costa Rica at the age of 54 on Sunday. According to ABC News, the Cosby Show alum was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter at the time. That cannot be good for her. According to police officials, surfers say, so there was people out there. Surfers saw Warner and his daughter struggling in the water. A surfer dove in and brought the child back to safety on his board. A volunteer lifeguard then pulled Warner and a second surfer back to shore, where the Malcolm and Eddie star was given CPR for 45 minutes per the report. On Monday, Costa Rican National Police confirmed to the Post that bystanders had pulled Warner from the water and taken him to shore. That's a picture of his young daughter, clearly before she was 8. The Costa Rica Red Cross made revival efforts, but the attempts were unsuccessful. Warner's body was transported to the morgue at San Joaquin de Flores for an autopsy. His cause of death is listed as asphyxiation by submersion. On Wednesday, TMZ reported that Warner's body had been released to the family. He will be flown back to LA. Sources told the outlet that the sitcom star's body will leave Costa Rica on Thursday and arrive in LA on Friday. According to insiders, the U.S. Embassy is working alongside Warner's family to return his body to the United States. TMZ also said that he was in Costa Rica with his daughter for a homeschooling program. His wife was allegedly not in the country at the time of his death and learned about the tragedy by way of the phone. Lord help your people. So that's that baby right there. After the Emmy nominees' accidental drowning, Playa Grande lifeguards claimed they were not present on the beach when the incident occurred due to lack of resources. Oh, the excuses is coming. We deeply regret the passing of MJW at Playa Grande. He was swept away by a strong rip current and died by drowning. It all happened very quickly, and although there were people on the beach who entered the water to rescue him, they did not arrive in time. He was pulled from underwater without vital signs, and despite CPR maneuvers being performed on the beach, resuscitation was unsuccessful. Lord have mercy. The guard went on to explain how Playa Grande is well known by local surfers, but is one of their most challenging beaches. Any passport bros around here that might know anything about that? The statement added that there are signs placed along the beach in both Spanish and English, warning of the danger of death due to drowning. Oh my God. The guards shared they have patrolled there over the past few years, but not at the time of Warner's death. Lord have mercy. Due to recent aquatic incidents in Playa Negra, we had redirected resources there and to Chiquita, another iconic beach known for its strong current. So the water sound crazy down there. That's what I'm hearing. So you're swimming at your own risk, honestly. The social media posts include a message addressed to Costa Rican President Rodrigo Chavez Robles and the government. From Caribbean Guard, a volunteer lifeguard association, we make an urgent appeal to the president of the nation, blah, 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 blah. Joining forces to minimize the problem. Now they want to do something to do what? I don't understand. If the water is rough down there, then the water is rough down there in Costa Maya or Costa Rica, whatever it is. We do everything within our reach. We have saved numerous lives in recent years, and if Caribbean guards didn't exist, the number of drownings would be counted in dozens. We gave everything we have to minimize the risk, but without help from the government, clear public policies, and strong support from local business owners, this will continue to happen. So the water was rough. Looks like they had a sign. It was known. He went anyway. He had the kid. He was helping the kid out and whatever the heck it is that she was doing there. And that's that. Costa Rica. Be careful when you go down there and you're swimming out there in Costa Rica, y'all. So anyway, that's that update. That's all I got for y'all. I'm sure there will be more, and I will share more with y'all as soon as I have it. Moving on, child. Moving on. On to this crazy biatch. Okay. So, the worker accused of deleting the East Point McDonald's manager returns to court. I thought they took your wigs when you went to jail. I guess not. Okay.
Calling file number 25354F1, People versus Akani Badu Mohammed.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Dale Manbury on behalf of People.
Your Honor, Josh Jones, appearing on behalf of Mr. Thomas, standing to my left in the jury box. Mr. Thomas, please state your name.
Afeni Badu Mohammed, but I also go by Raisin Phoenix. Thank you. You're here today.
Child, she out here using the name Raisin Phoenix, child. She just now said to the judge, Afeni Mohammed, but I go by Rising Phoenix. Is she taking this shit seriously? Does she care? Does she give a damn? Child, this lawyer, like, where he come from? I guess Ben wasn't available. Al, I guess they ain't interested.
Today for your probable cause conference. Counsel, are you involved in this way?
Yes, Your Honor. Catherine Romero Golden, 25383, second chair in this matter.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Very good. And you're asking that this matter be adjourned for discovery, number one, and number two, you want to refer to the Forensic Center for Competency and Culpability. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Counsel does request at this time that Mr. Mohammed be referred to the Forensic Center for the matter. It's my understanding that Mr. Mohammed herself personally objects to the referral at this time.
What is the factual basis that you rely on for the referral?
Your Honor, based upon my observations of the case and in reviewing the case, specifically the police reports, and then again my observations and interacting with Mr. Mohammed, I need to check those two boxes. I need to make sure that one, she is competent to stand trial, and then two, that there's not an issue in regards to culpability.
I will refer it on both. You know, we only need one to go forward on the competency.
Nails is done, though, child. Nails is done.
Absolutely.
I will refer it for competency and culpability. They're about going out 4 to 6 weeks. So let's go September review date on September 3rd at 1 p.m. I will take this off the docket for next week for the preliminary exam, and remove that from the docket.
Does that deal with?
That's fine.
And we're not gonna set a date for the preliminary exam at this time until we get the report on competency. That's why we have the review date set.
Oh, they definitely gonna go for insane. And what is it? Insanity plea? After everything we done seen? I'm not saying I disagree, but keep that ass behind bars forever. She over here talking about a funny, whatever, Phoenix Rising. Girl.
If it comes in sooner than that, we will reach out to get you in sooner than that. However, my experience in dealing with the forensic center leader is it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So we're gonna go with that data this time. Any other matters?
I have nothing further, Your Honor. This will give us time to get that done and the other discovery issues we have, so I have nothing else.
That's absolutely correct, yeah.
Okay, then that concludes this matter.
Thank you.
Well, shit, she got a place to live now. She probably good. She got a place to live. She ain't got to live with that man. He ain't going to be harassing her for X. She probably good. She ain't got to work at McDonald's. She got a place to live. She got food. She probably good. She probably happy. She don't look sad. That's for damn sure. She look like she in her element. Whatever, biatch. I was waiting for them to say, "Oh, we're looking for bail. Bail for who? Bail of hay? Like what bail y'all be talking about?" But they didn't. They gotta see if that biatch is crazy, child. Let me go ahead and let y'all know. Allegedly, she crazy. Don't even waste the taxpayers' money. She crazy. Anyway, so that's the update for her. I guess there'll be nothing else until September the 3rd, I think she said. So hopefully I will catch it and we will be on it and see what's up. I see you, legend, in the building. Shout out to everybody that is here. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. All right, it's time to talk about some white people. White people, it's your turn. What is going on? What is going on? Not the stalker crash the wedding. Come on.
What did she happen? I don't. I mentioned too.
Hey, yo, imagine having a wedding reception and a crazy stalker grabs the mic and go nuts.
You are so lucky. You are the luckiest woman in the world. Dan is such a great guy. He's got everything a woman could ever want. He's kind, generous, successful, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
He's got an incredible body. I'm just gonna speak from my heart. I would do anything to be you, Carolyn. No, really, I would. Because Dan, you never even gave us a chance. You never even gave us a chance. I'm the one who taught you to make crab cakes, and it wasn't for you. You was only making Krabby Patties. No, seriously. It's too late. What did she happen? I don't. I made it too. I made it too. I can tie my hair.
Crazy work. Ladies, what would you do if this was your wedding? If this was happening at your wedding, what's your next move? The audience was laughing because they thought it was a joke, but she was dead serious.
What y'all gonna do at that wedding, child? Child, she already know what Dan got going on up underneath of there. Clearly, y'all dye my hair black. What does she have that I don't have? Child, white people, that's what y'all be doing. Yeah. Oh, Lord.
What did she have that I don't? I made it.
What does she have that I don't? Oh my God.
Hey, yo, imagine having a wedding reception and a crazy stalker grabs the mic and go nuts.
What if Dan is still messing with her is the real question.
You are so lucky.
Yes.
You are the luckiest woman in the world.
That was the first sign that somebody should have went up there and took the daggone mic.
Dan is such a great guy. He's got everything a woman could ever want.
There's the second sign. He's got everything that a woman would want.
He's kind, generous, successful, gorgeous.
Sign number 3. He's gorgeous. Girl, this supposed to be a toast to the both of us. How come you only talking to Dan? That'd be me sitting there looking at Dan. Fuck you talking about, nigga?
He's got an incredible body.
Sign number 4. He's got an incredible body. Girl, how you know what's going on up underneath this daggone gonna sue. Y'all still just sitting there. I was the bride. I'd be like, what the fuck? They out here laughing. Yeah. Fire them all. Get rid of all them people. They not your friends.
I'm just gonna speak from my heart. I would do anything to be you, Carolyn.
That's it. She got to go already. That's the final straw. Y'all didn't know from the first 5 items. And I think she might be Asian. But we're going to go with Hawaii today. But she do look Asian. But ma'am, they're going to be like, oh, she just drunk. How? The party just started. She ain't drunk. She looking for Dan. Dan was her man. And her man, Dan, didn't marry her. He went to Caroline. And now she don't know how to handle it.
No, really, I would. Because Dan never even gave us a chance.
Oh, there you go. Dan was messing with her. Wifey, did you know that? That would be the big question. Wifey, did you know that Dan was messing with that girl and now she here at the wedding? You never
even gave us a chance. I'm the one who taught you to make crab cakes and it wasn't for you.
She taught him how to make crab cakes, child. I mean, what else could a man want? What else could a man want? She taught him how to make crab cakes. That's supposed to make him fall in love with her. It didn't work, boo. It did not work. Dan said it wasn't enough, so he went to Caroline. What, people? Is this what y'all be doing, child?
You was only making crabby patties, no, seriously. It's too late.
Shout out to the best man. I'm assuming that's who that is, child. He the only one that said, let me get this crazy biatch on up out of here before she turned into Afeni Mohammed, also known as Red Sky Phoenix, whatever the hell her name is.
What did she have that I don't? I made it too. I made it too. I can dye my hair black.
Crazy work. Ladies, what would
I can dye my hair black. Lord have mercy. Take this L, y'all. Excuse me, take this L. I do believe it is laughter of discomfort because they didn't know what was what. I agree with you. But still, they had all those signs before it got to this and nobody did anything. I'm assuming that's the best man. Shout out to the best man, child. Remember when they said that they were saying, that there was no white people AI? I think there is. When you ask AI to make a video of a white stereotype.
What the hell y'all clapping for? Dumbass white people.
Ooh. Ooh.
What the hell y'all clapping for? Dumbass white people.
Oh, my bad. It was supposed to be about white people. And then here comes us a star with something to say. That snuck on in there, y'all. That snuck on in there. Anyway, all right, let's get to Hunter. We got to get to Hunter because this shit is 3 hours long. And I know damn well I'm not going to sit through 3 hours of this. I'm going to tell you that right effing now. So whoever the hell it is that this Channel 5 person is with Andrew Callaghan, somehow, some way, found a way that he decided that I want to interview Hunter Biden, the crackhead, Joe Biden's son. And of course, what the hell does Hunter have to do? Nothing. So he agreed to do it. And clearly he was laying a lot of people out, talking out here like he knows something about something. Child, tell us how you cook that crack up, child. That's all we trying here.
Good morning, America and the world. My name is Andrew Callaghan, the host and creator of Channel 5, the largest
Child, this man I can't even take him seriously already.
Independent crowdfunded newsroom in the United States. The following interview is with Hunter Biden, the controversial storied son of former President Joe Biden, who issued a full and unconditional pardon for Hunter during his final month in office, shortly after Hunter was found guilty of tax-related crimes and being an illegal drug user in possession of a firearm. Hunter has yet to speak to the media about this pardon and hasn't done a televised interview in years. In fact, aside from a very limited and controlled press run to promote his new book, Beautiful Things of 2021, Hunter hasn't given a single statement to the media, especially in regard to the laptop scandal that was a crucial component in the Stop the Steal movement back in 2020, wherein millions of Trump supporters alleged that Joe Biden was being controlled and manipulated by nefarious foreign actors who leveraged their business connections with Hunter to peddle influence in the White House. As I mentioned, this alleged intel connects to private messages and emails that were found on a laptop that Rudy Giuliani and his lawyer claim Hunter left in a computer repair shop in Delaware sometime in 2020, where after the laptop repairman, John Paul Mac Isaac, pictured here, essentially leaked its contents to the
White people. What is this? Child, first of all, who just said Weird Al? This dude with Weird Al, and then this is a real person in Delaware at a place called the Mac Shop. I know. I believe that Hunter would have left something at the Mac store because he was a crackhead, so he was busy.
This is amazing.
But this guy here who looking over here and looking over there at the same damn time, that's supposed to be in business, just releases all the shit out till everybody could see it. Is that what y'all be doing? Y'all be doing that to each other, so y'all ain't no different than I see. Shout out to Couch Late. But thank you, Hun. He said, good afternoon. Shout out to Hunting for Crack Biden. Yeah. I saw you. I know where you were. That's okay. That's okay. This is your day, and you late. This is your day, and you have the audacity and nerve to be late. All right. Explain this, because sometimes I feel like, ain't that what you look like? Is this you? Couch, is this you with this pom-pom on the top of this hat? What is this hat here? Oh, Lord. Is this real, y'all? Now I'm already wondering if this shit is real. Is this a parody? Is this a real interview?
The world. Along with evidence of alleged corruption, tax evasion, and influence peddling, what was also leaked from the laptop is nearly a decade of private photos of Hunter in the thralls of crack cocaine addiction. All right, in today's interview, we're going to discuss the laptop, the 2020 election, crack cocaine, and more, with an emphasis on recovery and away from gossip and family drama. And by the way, if you'd like to listen to or download an audio version of this interview, I've uploaded a crispy, let's get into it. Without further ado, since you've done a formal sit-down interview.
You know, it's been a while. Been a long while. I had a conversation with Jamie Harrison, who's the former chair of the DNC. He was a great friend, loyal. And I was down in South Carolina for other things and kind of like family down there. So I sat down with him and talked about some stuff, but nothing like this.
What made you feel like now's the time for a official, unedited long form?
Well, I don't know when it is the right time or not the right time. I'm an admirer of your work, and we have a mutual acquaintance. It didn't take me much to agree to be really interested. I think the work that you've done is some of the most interesting commentary on the moment we're living in, the expanded moment that we seem to be continuing to live in of the from 2020 on. I hadn't seen much of the.
Does Hunter have a wedding ring on? Did somebody marry him? Oh, hell no. That looked like his left damn hand. Hunter is married. Even a crackhead white man can get married. I'm going to leave it at that.
Earlier work that you had done, but I do know that I at least appreciate the
I look like they both got bowling shoes on.
Sincerity with which you approach everything that you do.
I appreciate it. You said
they look like they're in the garden. I'm gonna try to be quiet, y'all. I'm just saying.
2020 on. Do you feel like that's the year the world kind of went crazy?
No. I think that's the year that we all kind of woke up to the realization that things are crazy. But no, I think that they've been going crazy for a while. And I don't know whether crazy is the right word. I think that I don't know how interested people are in my take on why I think the world is a little bit crazy right now.
Well, I think there's probably millions of people out there who just want to know how you're doing.
Personally, I'm great. I tell everybody, and Melissa gets kind of upset with me because it has been obviously a difficult time. You know, the past 5 years have not, at least from any outsider's perspective, been fun. But for me, as a person in recovery and being able to maintain that recovery through this and stay clean and sober throughout it, so one thing I allow myself to take some pride in. And
oh, wow. A crackhead decided to not be a crackhead. Let me rephrase. A rich crackhead says that we should feel something because he decided to be sober for a little while, given everything that he has gone through. Nigga, please. Child, if he don't go to hell all fucking ready. Shout out to RB in med school. I appreciate you. He said, white man's job is calling, so I'm fitting to Bojangle my ass out the door. You better. I don't want you to end up here in this garden, child. This garden looks scary. Have an excellent live stream. All praises to the crackheads. Shout out to RB, and I appreciate you. Shout out to y'all. I see you. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, subscribe if you are new.
Know about my life is that I survived almost certain death. And I mean, I don't know if you read my book, but I'm pretty transparent about it. Having survived that hell kind of prepared me to be able to make it through kind of the public humiliation that I don't know any other way to put it, that I've experienced over the past close to 5 years now. And it doesn't seem to stop, but I'm more grounded in who I am and what matters to me and what I'm grateful for on a daily basis than I've ever been in my life. And physically, I'm in a hell of a lot better shape than I was since my last drink or drug 6 years ago.
So it's been 6 years.
Yeah, just over 6 years.
Oh, congratulations, John. Congratulations. 6 years, clean and sober, allegedly. Why didn't he have an interview with a real reporter? Great question, child, because his garden looked like a better view, I guess, child. We'll see. Let's see.
When you say you almost died, can you kind of give us some more context?
I was a drinker, and at the end, my addiction had progressed so much that it was potentially deadly on a daily basis. The thing that was the most concerning and the most real about, facing death was in actuality the alcohol. Once you fall into that lifestyle, and I wouldn't call it a lifestyle because there's no life to it at all. You enter a completely different world in which you're living kind of completely outside of the bounds of any communal norms. I don't know. It's.
I was about to say, what the fuck is that? Him at his height of crackheadness, child. He looked about the same to me. Maybe I just don't know what a crackhead really looked like outside of Pookie from New Jack City, child.
It's a scary place to be. And I met some of the most truly heroic, astounding, thoughtful,
crackheads,
kind people that I've ever met in my life that are living, lives of quiet desperation, not quiet, very loud desperation, but even in that found space in their hearts for empathy and kindness. And I've met some of the most awful, predatory people that I've ever experienced in my life.
So you feel that the thralls of addiction do oftentimes swallow up very genuine, earnest people, but at the same time, that underbelly is home to a specific breed of evil as well?
One of the things that I've realized is that addiction is one of the most universal conditions. I don't know many people that have not been impacted by it in some way, whether it's addiction to drugs or addiction to behaviors. They have the same dilatory effect on not.
Child Hunter, I don't give a damn. Get into something I give a damn about. All right, we know you're a crackhead.
Which kind of has a racialized context to it.
Well, maybe
as a differently by the
and that someone else happens to be your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, yourself, your coworker, and it only becomes a problem when it becomes a problem for you.
Do you think that you would have been treated differently by the media if your addiction was to an opiate or perhaps methamphetamine as opposed to crack, which kind of has a racialized context to it?
Well,
damn, crack has a racialized context to it. Well, then maybe Hunter is black because he most certainly didn't care about crack when he was using it. He was proud. What the fuck? Is that racist for him to say that? So is crack for blacks? Is that what we're saying today? Child. I'm about to report his stream for racism.
Maybe, I don't know. Because it depends upon what media you're talking about. Because I like, what is the media? I think it was just an added bonus for them that they could say crack addict and everybody would go, oh my God, he's a monster. So I think for those that wanted to use it as a bludgeon, it's easier when you slap the word crack addict onto it. It made me a lot easier target for the Don Juniors of the world, the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world, just because of their inherent kind of meanness about things.
Sir, if you're looking for sympathy, I'm going to need you to back that truck all the fucking back way up to a 1970, child, because no one, let me rephrase, let me talk about myself. I have no empathy or sympathy for this man whatsoever. First of all, you're a whole ass man. You're a whole ass white man, and you fucking rich. You're a fucking rich. You have more opportunities than a little fucking bit that any of us would ever get ever in our lives. And you squandered that shit. You are 50 some odd fucking years old if you are not the same fucking age as me. Talking about you proud because of the last 6 years and everybody's being mean to you. You the one running off at the mouth. You the one that didn't give a shit about your family name, their status, your father, your stepmother, your brother's wife. Child, he married his brother's wife. Wait, did they get married? He's messing with his brother's wife. Rest in peace to Bo. Messing around with his brother's wife. You were always the black sheep of the family. Bo was the better person, allegedly. He died from brain aneurysm or something. You stayed and you fucked it all up. You couldn't even get it together for the daggone wife. Y'all remember we covered that when Bo's wife, after he died, was over there on crack too, along with him, and she was helping and left a weapon and dropped it off in the trash can, child. All of them are crazy. White people, don't come out here acting like y'all innocent. Please don't be coming out here acting like y'all innocent. We supposed to feel sorry. I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. This a whole soap opera in itself. This is a whole soap opera in itself. Y'all ain't shit. Hunter, save that shit for somebody else.
But I'm not a victim here. I was a crack addict. I wrote about it. I was transparent about it. I wasn't naive to the idea that somehow that would be something that anyone or everyone would be able to fully comprehend and have empathy for. We're lacking empathy across the board, not just for Hunter Biden. But I guess I was a little bit surprised in terms of a lot of people in the press, whether it was in the New York Times or the New York Post, kind of dismissed addiction as somehow unique to my family, or without taking into account what they were doing to other people that were looking to get clean and sober. One of the things about getting clean and sober, at least I found, I don't know what your experience in your life or with your friends or others, is one of the things that keeps us in the cycle of addiction is our guilt and our shame, is the lies we tell ourselves and the lies that we tell the people that we care about the most. And you get clean and you get sober, and what ends up happening is you still hold on to these secrets. Like, I smoke crack. I was a crack smoker. They know that I did cocaine, or they know that I was drinking, but they don't know that I was also an inveterate drug user. And so you keep that secret, and that guilt kind of boils up. And the only place that you can talk about it is in rooms full of virtual strangers, which is really helpful. But it isn't it doesn't release you from that awful feeling that I'm about to be found out, and that anxiety. And so then you get triggered. Your brain tells you to do the only thing that it's learned how to do is that you need to save yourself. And the fastest way to save yourself is a drink or a drug. So you get caught in this loop. And the favor that they did for me is I don't have any more secrets. Now, not everything that's been said about me is true, but there are the things that most people would be very embarrassed about. I've been very open about. I spent more time on my...
Child, if he don't go to hell, I can't do this. I don't know, y'all. I don't know how long, child. Reaper, I appreciate you, boo. He said, did you see Judge Lynn Toller showing them legs behind her head? I heard about it also. F this crackhead. The crackhead that everybody's supposed to have empathy and sympathy for. Oh, Lord, help your people.
Hands and knees, picking through rugs, smoking anything that even remotely resembled crack cocaine. I probably smoked more Parmesan cheese than anyone, and so I don't get triggered in the same way. But the thing that scares me is for people that look at the way that I'm treated in the media, whatever the hell the media is, and think, do I want to get honest? I mean, seems to me, if you look at that as a test case, better to keep some things unsaid. And I think that's really dangerous for people, at least in my experience with recovery.
As far as the media goes, what do you think are the 3 craziest things you've heard about yourself in the press?
Oh my God, the list is forever and forever. They got stuck on for a while, even Fox News, that I funded the Wuhan lab. I said that to someone a long time ago on camera as in response to a question like you just asked. And you got to be really careful. Somebody's going to be able to cut that and say, I did not fund the Wuhan lab.
I did.
Yeah, you did? Yeah, exactly. Me and George Soros. Supposedly me and George Soros are have a lot in common. The one thing I'm positive we don't have in common is that I am very, very far from being a billionaire. But those conspiracies are kind of the craziest. You know, I just heard Jake Tapper is going on TV saying that, you know, I basically acted as the chief of staff.
I think Hunter was driving the decision making for the family in a way that he was almost like a chief of staff.
Wait, ain't this dude a Democratic person that supports Democratic people? He was talking about Hunter like that?
Of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
I think I spent 12 days in the White House in the last 2 years of the administration. Had a lot of other things going on. I think the one that was like you feel like you just got hit in the gut, you know, by an elephant, is when Rudy Giuliani and Bernie Kerik went to the Newcastle County Courthouse here in Delaware and talked about me being involved in, I think, child sex crimes and stuff like that. And I mean, literally with nothing. That one was the last and the only one that was kind of hard to wake up from. Is like, how do you ever take that out of somebody's head after they've heard it, you know? But I mean, truly, the list just goes on and on.
Did you try to sue for defamation or damages or anything after that?
No, and I mean, I am disgraced, but in order to effectuate this, and then that ultimately his followers made the direct connection that money was used to fund Hamas for the murder of over 1,400 Jews on October 7th. That's the kind of stuff. And now I know you guys look and say like, but who believes that? You know, I don't know. The million people that read that tweet, you know. I had one guy in California who is a, I don't remember his name, but he's associated with SpaceX, a big investor in SpaceX, a very, very wealthy guy, claim just months ago that I rented a house from him and that I trashed the house and I had the Secret Service stiff him on the rent and that I tried to pay him with a book of art made of my own feces.
His ex-landlord claims he stiffed him on a whopping $300,000 in rent. What happens to the back rent that Hunter Biden owes my family? Is that pardoned now?
And, you know, like, how insane is that, right? You know, but you look into the background.
Sir, how insane is that? I don't think it's insane from a crackhead that said that he was on the corner of 9th and King on top of a car cooking up crack. You're like, sir, you're putting the shit out here. We see the wife on video, Bo's wife, dropping off the weapon in the trash can. But we're supposed to just take this one story and be like, yeah, no, that's not true, which I didn't hear about. Plus, you're a crackhead. You know, it's not like y'all leave shit clean. Allegedly. Shout out to Heroic. I appreciate you. He said, I have no sympathy for a man who has a video of him getting a foot job from an alleged. Oh, Lord, help your people. I don't know nothing about that. So, see, y'all know a lot more than me. Woo! I still gonna go to the fact that you could have got help. Your family can afford to get you help. You said F you. You went on with your brother's wife. I don't know. I don't remember if they got married or not. And given the innuendos with your father and kids, you know, it's not too far-fetched. Maybe they saw Joe Biden and thought it was you or vice versa. Who knows? Who knows? I don't want to see that video. I see CM said he saw the video. I don't want to see that video. I don't. I'm still traumatized by the R. Kelly video, okay, from many, many moons ago.
This person, and he's a major investor in SpaceX. He's probably worth a few $100 million, and he has this huge following on X. Elon Musk retweeted that, and it went, viral.
It's pretty messed up, man. There's also some people though who just think that if you leave the country, you're a spy. You know what I mean? Like, why is he going so many places?
But Hunter was doing something over there in Croatia, if I'm not mistaken, and he was making hand over fist doing that. But you know, ignore this rich white man over here, but listen to me, this rich white man over here, because I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? You can trust a crackhead. Shout out to Gator. You can trust a crackhead, right? So just because you white, we supposed to trust you, Hunter? Come on now.
Yeah, you know I do it. I like getting hot. I'm a crackhead.
Shout out to Gator and Hunter. Black Couch, appreciate you. He said Hunter's new book, Painting with Poo and Saliva, is out now at Skid Row Books in Santa Monica. Yeah, California. Allegedly. Shout out to allegedly. Yes, y'all. Let's please make sure we use allegedly. Thank you so much. Everybody hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. Lord, 15 minutes.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, the really interesting thing is they created this a character that is both in some sense a ne'er-do-well fail son that has not ever accomplished anything, and a criminal mastermind all in one. I kind of feel like, you know, pick one. Most of my travel during that period of time when my dad was vice president, and by the way, I didn't travel anywhere when my dad was president. I don't think I left the country. But during that time, I was the chairman of the board of what's called the UN World Food Program. And I was also chairman of the board of the Truman National Security Project, chairman of the board of the Center for National Policy. I was a professor at Georgetown.
This is amazing. So a crackhead can get all those jobs, be paid very, very well, and we can't get shit out here. You hear all them things that he was in charge of? Whilst he's only been sober for 6 years. So that means he was cracking it up, but getting all those jobs. Child, I call racism. It's racist. How? Child, I can't get no job in there. None of that shit that he just named. Woo, Lord Hunter, you probably should have shut the fuck up. Straight Panther, I appreciate you, honey. Says Joe Biden. Hunter, where them nuclear warheads, son? Hunter, I smoked the warheads, daddy. Exactly. Shout out to Jungle Fever. Shout out to you, hon. I appreciate you. This is crazy. Yes, 18. White effing privilege at its finest, child. Now he's sitting here trying to act all like, oh, people are saying mean things about me. Nigga, you done said enough mean things or it's things, period, about yourself.
On university, adjunct professor for over 4 years in the master's program at the School of Foreign.
Child, look at this. My boyish looks.
Foreign Service. I taught a course on advocacy and
He out here teaching shit.
Largely based upon the implementation of a thing called PEPFAR, President's Emergency Plan for Aid Relief in Africa. And as the chairman
he working for Africa.
The board of the UN World Food Program is kind of like what you know of. Like,
he working for the food program.
Like as a kid growing up, like UNICEF. UN has voluntary aid organizations in which each nation state that is a part of the UN voluntarily contributes to the continued operations of UNICEF, UNHCR, UNESCO. All of these organizations are all voluntary aid organizations. The UN World Food Program is the largest voluntary aid program in the United Nations, and it is the largest humanitarian organization in the world. It serves over 80 million
The largest, and they said, crackhead, go on down there and you be in charge, child.
meals on a daily basis in 72 different countries. And it is the first on the ground because it controls all the airlift and communications for all of the relief efforts globally in any natural disaster or civil war or conflict. And so the UN, US, is responsible for about 65% of the budget of the World Food Program, which was my responsibility as chairman of the board. And
Oh, he was chairman of the board in charge of all that. And I can't even get a vice president position? Wow. I wonder if I start smoking crack, if that would help me be able to be in charge of even one of those organizations.
increased the budget of the World Food Program, which just won the Nobel Peace Prize 2 or 3 years ago, by 50% when I was chairman over my term, to like $2.4 billion. It's all gone now. Trump ended all of that. Point about traveling. So I went to the Philippines after Typhoon Haiyan. I went to Kenya to Dadaab when refugees were flowing in from across Southern Africa and Ethiopia. I've been to Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan, and I've been to all over the world. 75% of my travel during that period of time was on behalf of the World Food Program and other, NGOs that I worked on behalf of. So I want to.
It sounds like what Heavy D's bigger younger brother was doing, just out here getting paid to be doing whatever. A whole crackhead in charge of the world, basically.
Back all the way up to the very, very beginning. A little short bio. We could do a long bio too. So you're born here in Delaware or born here in Pennsylvania?
In Delaware.
Okay, in Delaware.
Yeah, Wilmington.
Wilmington.
Yeah, 10 minutes from here, 15.
What are your thoughts on Wilmington, Delaware? Nice place?
Oh, yeah. One of the things that I still do love about the East Coast and Delaware and the Mid-Atlantic is the history. And so I'm a little bit of a...
Child, let me tell y'all about Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware, child. It's a wonderful place to live. Okay, depending on where you live in. But remember, this man was on the, I'm going to keep saying it because I know where this corner is. The corner of 9th and King on top of a car smoking crack. So does that sound like a wonderful place where you could just come and be? Wilmington's logo is a place to be somebody. You think you could come there and be somebody? Yeah, you can be somebody like him, okay? They don't say that crime is down because crime is up. Okay, crime is up. And it is a meeting place allegedly between New York, Philly, Baltimore, and DC. A meeting place. That's why a lot of shit goes on there, and there's a lot of shit stays there because people be using the 95 quarter from all those places to move their shit. And they meet in Delaware, in Wilmington. They disperse in Wilmington. And it's a place where you can see where Dr. Umar's school is, one of the areas right there, which is why I won't go in the evening or I have to be looking around like I did that one time because there's so much bullshit going on around there. Now, if you're living over there where Joe Biden lives, which you know that for Hunter, that's where he was. But even though Hunter had the ability to live over there where Joe Biden lives, which of course is a gated community, even more so now because he's been president, this nigga was hanging out with the niggas, like the true niggas down here at 9th and King. This is what he was doing. He over here looking all whitewashed today. He hanging out with Negroes on the corners down there in the ghetto. And he was received well, from what I understand, allegedly, because he had money and everybody knew who he was. There ain't want no smoke for anything happening to Joe Biden's son, the senator's son, the vice president's son, and then the president's son. So he got white privilege all over the place.
History geek.
Yeah, because Delaware doesn't really get much representation because you got Philadelphia, powerhouse of history and culture. You got
the Wyman and the Jewel. A slave state that fought on the side will come back. Delaware.
How are they doing?
I think they like South Carolina.
So do you see like Confederate flags in Dover?
Maybe not Dover, but definitely Gumboro. I think that the National Association for the Advancement of White People started in Gumboro, Delaware.
How are they doing?
I don't know. I've been long.
They got the National Association of White People in Delaware? Nah, that I did not know.
National Association for the Advancement of White People.
But Hunter Biden knows all about it. Ooh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Did y'all know about the National Advancement of White People? One nation, one people under God. Child, we be learning.
Started in Gumboro, Delaware.
How are they doing?
I don't know. It was a long, long time ago.
Seems like they're doing pretty well.
I think they probably had a real comeback. But that's because Delaware was a slave state that fought on the side of the Union. And the Mason-Dixon line, actually, Delaware is the only state in the Mason-Dixon line does not bisect. And that is because it starts at our western border, the actual line for the Mason-Dixon line, and right in the middle of the state. So there's 3 counties in Delaware, and if you go below the canal, you're in the southern part of Delaware, Kent and Sussex.
And you were born in the 70s?
I was born in 1970. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A couple years after the Summer of Love.
Yeah. My brother was born 1969, February 3rd, and I was born February 4th, 1970. And my sister was a year and a couple months after that, in 71.
Now, I know that you've talked about this story before, but there was a tragedy pretty early on in your life. Can you kind of tell people what happened for those who don't know?
Yeah, my dad got elected to the Senate on December 18th of 1972. So I was almost 3 years old. And my brother, myself, my little sister were with my mom and the dog in a station wagon.
Y'all know this story? Because we don't have to sit through it. I know this story. Y'all know this story? This sister died in a car crash and the mother did too. All right, that's the gist of it. Rest in peace to those two. Which left Joe Biden open with Hunter and Beau to go and marry Jill.
And we were hit by a tractor trailer. My mother and sisters were killed instantly. My brother and I were trapped inside the car, but they got us out. And I had significant head trauma. My brother basically broke almost every bone in his body and was in traction. And we were in the hospital together for weeks. And family and this community saved us. And my aunts and uncles moved in with my dad, and he figured out a way to be with us and be dad to us and also be a senator, commuted every day. And so I grew up here. I mean, I spent a lot of time with my dad. My brother and I had this rule with my dad is that we could go with.
Maybe that's why he turned into a crackhead, because of that accident. You never know. Rest in peace to the mama and the daughter, child. Rest in peace to them. Shout out to Upward Man. I appreciate you. He said Hunter Biden is the same kind of guy as Homeboy who was buying DRUGGS from Chauncey in the movie Menace to Society. I don't remember who that was, but I believe you. I ain't seen that movie in ever. So yeah, that definitely was a tragedy for sure. Beau broke all his bones. I didn't know that part. I bet they were hit by a tractor trailer driver, probably on 95, where everybody goes, is a major corridor here on the East Coast.
With them whenever we wanted to, and kind of no questions asked. And obviously we didn't take advantage of it, otherwise it would have gone away, but we were smart enough to do that. But we spent a lot of time on the train going down to the Russell Senate office building with my dad, and just to be with him. We did everything together. The thing about my mom and my sister dying and my brother and I being in that accident, it's like the realization that I have with addiction and being someone public is that I'm in no way unique. You know, everybody's had a tragedy in their family.
Yeah.
And when you're in the public eye and as transparent, I think, as my family has been about those tragedies and whether we wanted to or not, you have this incredible wellspring of other people that come to you and want to talk to you about.
All right.
I don't know. I think it's something that's a lifelong journey to be able to figure out what that kind of a trauma has on you. I don't know. I mean, I used to fight against the idea that it had anything to do with my addictive behavior. I don't fight about that as much anymore. It kind of makes sense to me in a way. I think some of the genetics make sense to me in a way too. But in terms of that trauma and how I see it today, in the way that people responded, it's all about the love that I experienced during that time. I look back and I think of the way my mom incredibly don't like.
This is definitely a responsibility for the way that, we've handled things that have happened.
Oh yeah, I think so. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, we all have to take responsibility, regardless of the reason. The consequences aren't always fair, but I think the biggest question is whether you use it as an excuse or do you use it as a catalyst to be more empathetic with other people and also yourself.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it sounds like the kind of double-edged sword you're talking about.
My family and closest friends is that how grateful I was. I mean, I'm truly grateful. It was like being able to go to your own funeral. I looked behind me and realized that no matter what, there was a whole courtroom full of people that knew who I was. And I had a whole family of people that were like aunts and uncles to me. I felt lucky, and I still feel lucky, and I don't take it for granted.
I think in a lot of ways, catastrophe reveals character. You're able to see how far someone's willing to go to help you or how much they care about your well-being when things aren't going well.
Yeah.
And I feel like you've had a couple different cycles of that throughout your life.
Yeah, after that, but I can remember that distinctively. But then in high school was, when I started to drink, I played football, so you wouldn't really drink during the football season, but weekend drinking. Yeah.
So just like standard going out Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
No, obviously no crack.
No. I didn't, I experimented with drugs in high school. But drugs as an issue did not occur until until crack.
So it was just like you didn't go from cocaine to crack?
No, it wasn't as linear as that. And so with me, what ended up happening was when my brother was dying, he was dying in a very slow but certain way because he had glioblastoma, multiform stage 4 cancer, which basically you have a 2% survival rate. And even that 2%, your chances of being fully intact physically and mentally are, basically 0.2% of people survive without, their life, but almost a 98% certainty that you're not going to live outside of 2 years. And so my brother never wanted to really know those numbers. And so I remember, I haven't read all of the book, but people have given me little synopses of like, do you accept it, go home and die? Or do you say, I'm not dying, I'm going to be part of that 2%. I sit down with the oncologist and the oncologist, MD, I'm not going to run for governor. And why would he do that? Why would you give up on life? And it's almost like I feel like saying, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You get a terminal diagnosis, okay? What do? Do you accept it, go home and die? Or do you say, I'm not dying, I'm going to be part of that 2%. I sit down with the oncologist and the oncologists tell me that there are new procedures and there are new experimental things that they're doing as it relates to X, Y, and Z at MD Anderson or at Sloan Kettering. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try that. And I'm going to survive. And I'm going to run for governor. My brother was the attorney general. He was no longer the attorney general. He did
that's not a good picture.
Not run for re-election as attorney general, but he was.
All right, that's a better picture. Lord, that other picture was a mess. Beau Biden, the favorite son, the good son. I'm sure allegedly, someone was like, why, Beau, take Hunter? Allegedly. Leave Beau and take Hunter. Allegedly.
Considering running for governor at the time. When my brother would be asked, he'd say, I'm okay. I'm okay. And he'd keep doing his job and he was in private practice at this time. And so what does Alex Thompson think my brother would owe fucking anyone to say, oh no, I'm dying, I'm not going to run for governor? And why would he do that? Not very far from the White House, which is, I knew to be a kind of sometimes an open air, drug market. And I saw someone that I knew from my past life as being in the streets, a woman that I referred to as Bicycles. And I knew that it was kind of a suicidal thought. I said, you got any crack? She sold me crack. And then that was it. From there, it just progressed.
Oh, it was a woman's fault. You hear that, right? You biatches ain't ish. Y'all the one that put Hunter on the path to crack them.
Progressively got worse and worse.
What kind of places did it take you?
Physically, it took me to, geographically, it took me to some, the worst parts of any city, town, state that you've been through. And, I know that you've been through these places I've watched, but, it takes you to, metaphorically and literally, to the Super 8 motel off the highway, rooms for rent on an hourly or daily basis, for tens of dollars. And that's...
He wouldn't even go to the Hotel DuPont. He going to Motel 6 for an hour.
That's kind of where it takes you.
Takes you to public housing too.
Yeah. And not safe places. Places people live, but, not safe places.
How long was the run for after you saw Bicycles?
That was in 2016. And then June of 2016, but almost 3 years. Yeah. Now, there were periods where I would stop. I would try to get help or half try to get help or appease people in my life and say that I was getting help. And so I did a whole host of different things to try to pull myself out of it. I did try. And people would come in and out of my web and try to help me. And my level of toxicity would drag them down until they would kind of disappear. And then people that would come into my life that were nothing but blood-sucking leeches that would literally solve vulnerability and latch. They get blamed for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess my point is that I think I was worth saving. And I think there's millions of people out there that are suffering from addiction that are worth saving.
You mentioned one thing earlier that I thought was pretty interesting, is that, you would take breaks throughout this period of time.
Yeah.
I think that when you're in active addiction, especially, those tolerance breaks can give you the illusion of control. Because you're like, oh, I'm just going to chill for a bit.
It's the oldest
I'm
story in the
so
book.
good at, moderation. Wow, I'm the best. But in your mind, you're like, I'm chilling so that I can mentally be on board. This means helping to support us, which means we can keep...
Than every single other drug combined times 5.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with the normalization of alcohol culture?
Other drug combined.
That's attributed to Tobacco, Alcohol, and Drugs World 2021. Tobacco, alcohol. Oh, drug use is the lowest. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, no, illicit drug use in the middle, 460. Like, dude, why do we care about this? Damn, he can talk. Lord have mercy. Upward Man, appreciate you. He said 100 Hunter is that dude that is the hood connect for the slangers used to get over. Yes, imagine how many Hellcats he's paid for in the hood. He has paid for a lot because he had plenty of money in order to do so. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all. Everybody in the hood knew who Hunter was. He was safe. Even though he was down there buying crack, he was safe. They're not going to mess that up. All that money that man was allegedly spending, he was safe in the hood. He was like the Donald Trump of the hood when it was okay for him. He was like hanging out with the black people until later. I guess now they maybe want to call him racist. I don't know. Not this interview makes you want to do crack. Yo, he just like, I mean, you got one idiot that don't even look real, and then you got another one that's a crackhead that's allowed to run off at the mouth, and this one is not really doing an interview. He's just letting him run off at the mouth. That's why I'm fast forwarding through it. I don't even care if I miss anything. He's bored me to tears, child.
Times 5.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with the normalization of alcohol culture, or do you think it's the substance itself?
Both.
Because it's like everywhere you go, you
So let me tell you about alcohol. One of the things, my dad never drank. My brother never drank, really. And the reason that they didn't isn't because of some bad experience that they had with alcohol. It's because they witnessed what alcohol did. You can possibly imagine, from what they do in terms of what they say, to the car that they get in and get behind a wheel, to the anger with which they respond. Most people with alcohol, it simply is an amplification of their worst qualities. Sodium bicarbonate and water and heat, literally. That's it.
And those things are pretty much.
Crack versus cocaine, the key difference is cocaine is a white powder, crack is a solid rock. You snort cocaine, you smoke crack, or freebase it. Oh, look at all this information. Slower onset, lasts 45 to 60 minutes for cocaine, and for crack, it's immediate. It lasts just a few minutes. Addiction is high for coke, very high for crack. The health risk to your nasal damage, risk of infection because of the injection for cocaine, and lung damage and worsened asthma for crack. Legal history, lighter historical penalties for cocaine, harsher penalties for crack. I wonder why that is. And yet Hunter got off with this too. Child, he's the luckiest white man alive. I tell you.
Much free if you go to like a science store.
Isn't it free? You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get. Anyway, I don't want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, but it literally is a mayonnaise jar of cocaine and baking soda.
How different is the experience?
I don't want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, child, but this is all you need to do. And thanks, Hunter.
Vastly different. And like for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite. I'm saying I don't want to have the experience of some euphoric recall.
This is amazing.
Does it require more frequency to maintain the high?
Yes. And the capacity to use more than you could otherwise with powder cocaine, just physically to be able to ingest it.
So you're kind of saying that cocaine reaches a certain plateau of euphoria where you can't necessarily get any higher.
In my experience, yes. This is like a PSA. If you want to completely, utterly fuck up your life, I don't think that anything is necessarily, you do it once, you're addicted. But there's about the closest thing that statement can be true would be with crack cocaine.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the impact in communities in the inner city in the 80s, it led to an entire generation being destroyed, left without parental guidance and stuff like that.
When I went to Yale Law School, and I had a professor.
Oh, the crackhead got to go to law school as well. I tell you, this is one of the best crackheads ever. Upper man, thank you, hon. He said that would explain why he got over Bo's widow so quick. He had that hood special. Allegedly, hashtag I got 40, 60 if you're nasty. For he got her addicted. Got her. I say that loosely, pause. He got her addicted to crack. Allegedly. Oh, Hunter did this to me. Girl, you wanted to be with Hunter. Was you looking at Hunter the whole time that you was married to Bo while Bo was going up, about to be governor? Then he got sick and you was like, child, no wonder she went over to this dude. He was in charge of everything as a crackhead. Lord. Let me move this forward, child.
Remembers my paper at Yale, but I do know this is that at the very end, I was the only thing that I can say that I truly weighed in on with my dad was on that level, and he was pushing on an open door. I think people forget the historic record number of people that he pardoned based upon the drug laws.
Also, he pardoned Leonard Peltier, or commuted his sentence from life imprisonment in Florida to house arrest at the Turtle Mountain Reservation.
I would never more proud of my dad. And again, literally the only things that I advocated.
Who the hell is that man? Do y'all know? Yeah, he addicted his brother's wife, all right, and not the addicted like you spelled it.
Before were those things.
Peltier and the sentencing reform.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just did a report up in North Dakota about his homecoming event, and it was definitely interesting. I didn't think it would happen. Hey, guys.
Dakota, homelands of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa Indians. Right now, we're standing at the entrance to the...
I don't care.
The individuals had been tribal members and living on the reservation had, I think it was over 60. Or, by the way, in the streets of Detroit or Chicago or Philadelphia or Tampa or whatever the hell they are, is that they're openly terrorizing people for the purpose of scaring the shit out of them. You know, people look at this moment in time. By the way, they were able to do much of it at hands. But all of the documentation was available. All of the communications were available at the time of the trial. And the judge wouldn't allow that information to be shared with the jury.
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at the bigger picture, American Indian movement was just one of many groups they were targeting.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe one of like 150.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 40, 50 years later, what has it been? How long was it, Leonard, in 48?
Something like 50.
Yeah, almost exactly 50 years, I think, right? 75. Why do we still hold on to that? Because it still makes a lie. I don't believe in conspiracy theories in the sense of I don't believe that the government has the capacity to carry out a conspiracy, you know, a secret plan. It's all in the open, man. There's no conspiracy behind what ICE agents are doing in the streets of Los Angeles, you know, right now. Or, by the way, in the streets of Detroit or Chicago or Philadelphia or Tampa or whatever the hell they are, is that they're openly terrorizing people for the purpose of scaring the shit out of them. You know, people look at this moment in time and they get this impression. I used to think it was hyperbole. I'm not so sure now. And the comparisons to 1930s and 1939 and 1932 and Kristallnacht and this is the time and are we before this, are we after this? And you know, I look at what we're going through right now as more associated with a moment in our own history, which was Reconstruction.
You're talking about, for reference, after the Civil War.
Yes, from 1865 to 1877. What people don't understand about Reconstruction is that we just fought the Civil War, prosecute a number of the people, but the Jim Crow Supreme Court overturns their convictions. So nothing gets done. So what ends up happening? That happens all across the South, all across the country, is this campaign of violence, a campaign of intimidation. And by the way, remember, how many states at that time? 16 states, 18 states at the time? You had 14 members of Congress that were black. You had 2 United States senators that were black between 1865 and 1877. And then the door shuts because everybody gave in to the corruption of the Supreme Court, the corruption of the president, Johnson ripping the rug out from under the entirety.
Somebody just told me this. Somebody just told me this. Is it UJP? Somebody just told me this.
Of Lincoln's Reconstruction Plan, all achieved through violence, corruption, and making a complete and utter mockery of the Constitution.
And there's also this perception, if you look at whenever segregation on public transport was codified with Plessy versus Ferguson, I think it was in 1902, there's this perception because of the voting records at that time that most people supported it. People don't understand, or some people do, but the Klan emerged as a voter intimidation force. It wasn't just simply terror for terror's sake. That was a part of it, but it was to specifically target black area polling stations, voting booths.
It did. And by the way, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. Whether it's voter suppression through violence and intimidation or disinformation, it's the same goddamn thing. It's whether it's an algorithm or whether it's a cross burning in your yard. That is what we have fought. We are caught in this loop. It's like the permanent Reconstruction loop. Okay. The permanent Jim Crow loop is that every single time that we get closer to that idea, that promise, that potential of a more perfect union, what ends up fucking happening is they come in and they shut the door down because there's this evil symbiosis between money and power. So what do? If I said to you, look, I'm going to tell you a story from the past. It's about a minority group of people that live in a country. It's constitutional democracy that has had its problems in the past, but it's an economic powerhouse. And it is the center of learning. It's the center of culture. It has a deep and rich history. But there is a minority group that those in power that came into power through democratically elected means are going to target this minority group because they're stealing all the jobs.
Today, our cities are flooded with illegal aliens. Americans are being squeezed out of the labor force and their jobs are taken.
They're not originally citizens.
Child, I forgot when he had that tampon on his ear, child.
They're not the original people.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you.
On top of that, they're spreading disease and distrust. And they're criminals. And they can be violent. They're eating your dogs and cats.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
And what we're going to do is we're going to send mass men to this marginalized group. And we are going to take them, put them on planes, put them on buses, put them on trains, and send them to a prison camp in a foreign country. What am I describing right then? Am I describing Germany? Or am I describing the United States right now? Because I will tell you what, if you think that the prison in El Salvador is not a fucking concentration camp, you're out of your fucking mind. Tell me anybody that's returning from there. You saw those pictures. You think anybody's getting out of there? Or, you know, is it a rehabilitation center? You think I've been to those places in South Sudan and around in those areas? You think anybody's getting out of those South Sudan prisons? Ever? Ever? Out of your fucking mind. That's a death camp. They're done. They're over. And if you're not dead, you would want to be dead if you were in that prison.
Okay, so Hunter was sent here to say Trump bad, basically. That's what I'm hearing now, finally, after all this crackety crack story and Hunter and Bo and the family and the mama and the sister and all that. I guess he's gonna go over his whole life. Child, we don't need your book. I wasn't getting it anyway. We don't need your book. Big boy, appreciate you. He should have asked which party started the KKK. He should be voluntarily answering it, since the reporter is not really asking him anything. He's just out here running off at the mouth. This is what's going on. And he is boring AF. Oh crap, it's her. He needs to go to that prison. He gets to not go to prison now. He gets to come out here and talk about what everybody else is doing wrong. While he went through his addicts, should have empathy and sympathy. That would be him, even though he got to be working all over the world, doing all these jobs that none of us can would never see because of Joe Biden helping his crackhead out. Knowing daggone well they was like, take Hunter, not Bo. Take Hunter, not Bo. Allegedly, right? This is who's gonna potentially be also, in addition to Shelley, maybe running for president for the Democrats.
And we just sent a bunch of people without due process, some of them most likely legally in the United States. Like, I think of that poor guy that they said was a gang member because he had a tattoo on his arm that was a makeup artist. And they say he's MS-13. He literally a makeup artist that fled, I think, I'm making it up, Venezuela, because of a dictator, and came to the United States and sought asylum, received asylum. And they literally take this poor guy and they pick him up, and he has a family and he has friends and he has an entire community, and they give him no due process and they put him on a plane with maybe a bunch of other criminals.
I mean, I'm sorry that happened to that man, but I would like them to compare that to all the ones that they got right and the ones they got wrong. I want them to compare all the ones that they got right to all the ones that they got wrong. Because, they'll harp on the one that got done wrong, which is wrong, okay? But what about the thousands that they got right that are the fuck on up out of here? We're just supposed to ignore that because a mistake was made with one or two. Y'all see how that worked? You shouldn't do it because there was a mistake made. Fuck the rest of them that we got on up out of here that shouldn't have been here. Even though we sat here and watched them run over the Mexican border. They knew when to come over. They don't know how to go home. But y'all supposed to have empathy and sympathy because the crackhead said that you should. Because he's now here for everyone. And he don't have to go to jail. But if you or me out here doing crack cocaine, holding a weapon, we going to jail.
And send him to that fucking hellscape? He's dead. And nobody gives a shit. And I mean it. Like, we sit here and we talk about the one guy, because there's a clear legal path to being able to get him back. What about all those other people? Am I not supposed to feel for someone? Am I going to be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration? Fuck you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your fucking table? Who do you think?
Wait, is that racist? Hold on a second, Hunter. Are you being racist right now?
Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. Fuck you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned?
How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned?
You think you got food on your fucking table?
How you get food on the fucking table? What?
Who do you think washes your dishes?
Who washes your dish? Oh, how racist! You just like your daddy.
Who do you think does your fucking garden?
Who does your fucking garden?
Think is here by the fucking sheer fucking just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they thought
the grit and the will to figure out how to get here to these United States so that y'all could cook the food and do the grass and clean up the toilet. Yes, go Hunter.
That they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's
yes, give their families a better chance to clean your toilet. Tell them, Hunter, tell them.
Somehow convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals. White men in America are 45 more times likely to commit a fucking violent crime than an immigrant. And
white people. Hunter said that y'all asses are the ones out here commit more crime than the daggone illegals, Bueller. Y'all got something to say about that? Bueller. Hunter is sounding a little racist right now.
Oh, you're being a racist. Racist.
Might get it from his dad.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
I don't know what's going on right now, Hunter. Go ahead, Sean.
Media says, well, you got David Axelrod and, Rahm fucking Emanuel. So fucking smart, Rahm Emanuel. They said, we got to understand that these people are really mad. And we got to appeal to these white voters. Rahm, the only people that fucking appealed to those fucking white voters was Joe Biden, 81 years old. And he got 81 million votes. And he did because...
Oh, my daddy did it all. Oh, my daddy is the best daddy ever. He's the best. He's the best. He's the best.
Not because he appeased their fucking Trumpian sense, but because he challenged it. And he said, you can be an 81-year-old Catholic from fucking Scranton that doesn't understand it, but still has empathy for transgender people and immigrants. Then nobody said, oh, Joe Biden's going to...
Sounding a lot like Barack and Michelle right about now.
Turn us into a socialist state, no matter how much they said it. But these guys think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4...
Hunter's running for president. Hunter's running for president. He's qualified too. He is qualified. As his father was president, he can be president.
I think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back or I'm going to fucking invade. It's a fucking crime. But
well, wait a minute. But when Donald Trump says it's a problem, help me understand. Help me understand when Trump does it and says it's a problem. How that work? I'm confused. But if he was president, he would do it. He can do it, crackhead. But Joe Biden, I'm sorry, but Trump can't. All these white men bickering.
They're doing. He's a fucking dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both.
Yeah. The craziest thing to me is especially interviewing migrants and like hearing about the journey they went through to get here. You got some people who walked for 30 days to the deserts of Mexico into the Arizona desert in a 110-degree hot summer. Their feet are bleeding. They have a gallon of water. There's people dropping dead while they're walking who they physically cannot stop to help because they are so determined and because the coyotes trafficking them will kill them if they stop too. And they finally get to the U.S. just to do menial labor. And you have people saying like, do it the right way. It's like, trust me, if there was an easier way, they would have done anything but that. And secondly, I feel like anybody who goes to that length to get here deserves to fucking be here. I mean,
So the fake reporter says anyone that did all that and made it here deserves to be here. Who are these people, child? Who are these people? I want to know where the hell we can go and do that, Bueller. Where can we as Americans just go and be like, hey, I'm here. Give me all the benefits, child, and give me a job. Since I made it here, I should be able to stay here. Bueller, where? Anybody? Bueller? Shout out to Prince. I appreciate you, boo. He said, this is what Democrats think about black and brown folks. We lost the black servants, so we need to replace them with the brown ones. Oh, he said a mouthful. He's saying a mouthful now. Yeah, he definitely saying a mouthful now. I guess he knows what immigrant jobs are. So, black people want to get all offended when somebody says black jobs. That's okay, because he know what the immigrant jobs are. And then you got this crazy looking reporter, I use air quotes, saying, I think if they went through all of that in order to get here, that they should be able to stay. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? Somebody just said something, I forget who it was, about like, so you think that you get to come over here and you get to stay, right? So, or somebody said, fix your own country. Is that not what happened here, especially with the blacks, with all the sit-ins, the shut-ins, and everything that they did in order to get rid of segregation and slavery and Jim Crow and just as much as we could, right? All that. And after doing all that, you got Ricky coming out here saying everybody need to leave the country. After doing all that fucking work, he gonna say everybody needs to leave the daggone country. So that these immigrants can come in and just pick up where all the rest of us left off? Is that what you're saying, Ricky? And he allegedly knows the history. But you got these people saying that we should have empathy and sympathy. And listen, I don't want nobody to die or whatever, but I'm thinking, like, I guess they probably should do in their country what had to be done in this country. But that's crazy talk, according to these people. This man sounds crazy. Sorry, both of them, but definitely Hunter. I'm telling you, he's thinking about running for office, child. He wants to be better than Bo.
Deserves to be an American. Like, we didn't do shit to get here. I mean, I'm sure at some point, like, our great-grandparents did get on the boat from Ireland and were like, fuck, I don't know what's going to be over there. But it wasn't like the grueling conditions that people experience on the way here. And it's just a lack.
Okay, so the grueling conditions means that they should stay, y'all, okay?
Lack of humanity. And also the lack of understanding as to how American corporations economically dominate those countries and how U.S. intervention has created unlivable conditions there too.
And are the incredible beneficiaries of that new blood that enters our bloodstream year after year after year. The only thing that makes us different from fucking China or Russia or anywhere else or Europe or anywhere, and the only reason that I believe that we as America are different beyond the fact of the idea of the Constitution, the idea that we represent, is immigration. And I can't even believe sometimes I'm having this discussion with anybody. How do you think that we are reborn every generation? How do you think that we attract the smartest people in the world to the United States of America? Through immigration. I mean, you sit here and
the smartest people in the world come from immigration, you dumbasses. You got the crackhead calling y'all dummies. You big dummies. Shout out to Fred Sanford. Those illegals, those are the smart ones. Y'all are just some dumbasses, okay?
Like, just think about it. You got some motherfucker who's made over, what, $251 billion being a United States citizen that got here and stayed here illegally before he got his citizenship, sitting here lecturing us on who we should allow into the United States of America and giving us a fucking Heil Hitler along the way. Are you fucking...
Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and toss in a Heil Hitler in there to inflame it even more. This is the crackhead, y'all. Make sure you listen to the crackhead.
Are you kidding me?
And talking about how gangs are like a threat that's going to come here from other places. I'm like, MS-13 started in Korea.
Don't we already have a problem with GANGs that we should be taking on GANGs from another place? These people sound fucking insane. What is going on? Please go back to Stop and Talk and do
town in LA.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, the U.S. prison system invented gangs.
Yes.
Like, we are basically like the creators of worldwide gang warfare. Like the styles, basically everything about it. And so it's just crazy the idea that like we're going to build a wall to keep gang members out. Yeah, 21 Savage is on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, or we sit here and watch Sons of Anarchy. It's just such bullshit. It's just such racism. It's just so easy pickings. And it just makes me so angry. Have you read the quote from Dietrich Bonhoeffer?
No, it's a cool name, though. I wish it was my name.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a philosopher in the 30s in Germany. He fled Germany, but he went back to be part of the resistance inside of Germany against the Nazis. Steve Bannon, he spells it out. He says flat out. He says that he's going to bring the war that they've known for a long time, that if the war for the United States of America is going to be won on the streets of Los Angeles. Steve Bannon flat out said that, you know what we're going to do before the election was even over. He said that we're going to contest the election. We're going to say that the mail-in ballots were fraudulent, and we're going to contest the election, and we're going to go as far as we can, and we're going to break the institutions as much as we possibly can.
Almost 100% believe strongly that the 2020 election was stolen.
And we're not going to allow this to be stolen in the canvassing room.
And we'll break the courts, and we will break Congress, and we will break the Constitution. And he lays it out exactly what he intends to do. My point being is on the hierarchy of that, it goes from Steve Bannon to fucking Alex Jones. And Alex Jones talks about the flat earth, and he talks about whatever Alex Jones talked about.
I eat babies. I eat them every night. I eat them with barbecue sauce. And I flew to the moon last night with a witch. And I took DMT with Easter bunnies.
Sandy Hook and things like that. Just in whole.
They really making y'all white people look real crazy. White people, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Holy Alliance has come together because of one really big reason. They've all figured out how to become incredibly fucking rich because of it.
So maybe the conspiracy isn't, Russia telling people what to do and how to think. It's just profit incentivized content creators farming outrage through these ridiculous conspiracies.
Yeah, and I have, like, for instance, what is that?
Does Marjorie Taylor Greene say anything smart? Ain't she a conspiracy theorist too?
What's that thing called? It's a technique that the Russians perfected, and of course they had like a term of art for it.
Hunter's out here just making it look like he's so smart. That's what I'm seeing right now. He just want everyone to know that he's so intelligent, in my opinion. Uh-oh. Let's see what this is. Is this your wife?
Use it against you, and that's word to Hunter Biden. Just use code Channel5 and Incogni.com/Channel5 to get an exclusive 60% off. And supporting Incogni means helping to support us here at the office and helps keep Channel 5 corporate data leak free. All right, you guys, stay safe out there. Back to Hunter Biden. So I want to talk about the 2020 election because I feel like that's when your personal affairs kind of took center stage as far as the media cycle goes. You also mentioned, before we get into that your sobriety date was before the 2020 election cycle. When exactly do you think you had your last go?
Officially June 1st, 2019.
Oh, so pretty significantly before.
Yeah.
And you met Melissa right around then?
Yeah. I met Melissa in the beginning of May. We got married in the middle of May.
Oh, he got a little hot thing going on.
Yeah.
And you met Melissa right around then?
Yeah. I met Melissa in the beginning of May.
It don't matter. Crackheads is gonna get married. It don't even matter. I'll take him, child. I'll take him. Don't even worry about it. He's a Hunter, but he's a Joe Biden, and he got some money around there. I'll take him. Upper Man, thank you for another 5. He said Hunter is beginning to sound like Oswald Bates. Look him up, Messy. Shout out to In Living Color. Okay. Y'all crazy.
We got married in the middle of May. I tell the story, and I have enough sense to recognize that if I was being told this story by my daughter in real time, I would say, you're out of your mind. It was a miracle that I found her. I met Melissa, and within literally an hour, I was telling her my whole unvarnished life history and the immediate problems that I was facing, which was crack addiction. She literally said, well, that ends now. And it did. I mean, not that minute, but over the next 2 weeks. And then I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. And I said, well, why wouldn't we do it right now? And so we literally called Justice of the Peace to the house. She came and she married us. For me, it was a miracle. For Melissa, the really hard part started then, in the sense of, like, getting clean and sober is not easy. It's even harder on the people that love you. And if they're that support system, it's a full-time job in that immediate period of time. Because, as I said to you before, the dangerous part is withdrawing from alcohol, and it can be kind of scary. And she went through all of that, and she went through the entire process with me. And she did things that I wouldn't allow anybody else to do. I saw in Melissa somebody that, without any history between us, looked at me with as much love as I looked at her. And I accepted that love in that moment. And a lot of it was tough love. Like, she took my car keys. She took my wallet. She took my clothes for a period of time, so I couldn't leave the house.
Wait, take your clothes?
Literally, I didn't have anything. It would have been impossible. We were living in the Hollywood Hills. There was nowhere to go. And if I could go anywhere, there's nothing to buy anything with. So
I can remember covering the 2020 election about a year later.
Look at that. That's a down ass woman. She said, I'm going to sit with this crackhead because it's going to pay off later in life. I'm going to take his clothes. I'm going to take his keys. I'm going to take his money and his credit card, and he can't go nowhere. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do it all. She down for what? Shout out to her. Melissa, I think her name is. You go, girl. You go, girl. I promise you I'm not doing none of that. I promise you I'm not doing none of that. But she was young. She knew what was on the other side of that. And now she all taken care of. She in the Joe Biden family. Because that's the lady that was walking in and out of court with him. Oh, but you didn't marry Bo's wife? Oh, you just effed her down a little bit? All right. Trying to be uncle and daddy to the kids.
And I think it was the first Stop the Steal rally at Reading Terminal Market in Philadelphia. And I saw what I thought was a BLM flag, Black Lives Matter, but it actually said Biden's laptop matters.
Oh, yeah.
And so I asked the guy, what the hell does that mean? And he just sort of kept yelling the slogan over and over again. Couldn't get much out of him.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, what happened with that?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. And I really mean that sincerely. Like, you'll have a lot of people that will come up with something about the laptop. But I always say to anybody, you're steeped in and just through your work, the right-wing narrative around it. And my question to anybody that is keeping an open mind is, what is it that you think the laptop proves, or what you call the laptop? So everybody has...
It proves you're a crackhead.
It's a laptop. So when they say Hunter Biden's laptop, what is it that they're talking about? Do you know?
Well, I know that you your entire iCloud was connected to it, all of your personal text messages, private photos, all that kind of stuff.
Like everybody's laptop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you left it with a repair shop owner who, for some reason, gave it to Rudy Giuliani. Not exactly.
Oh, he really does look like that. Child, he looked like he a racist.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you left it with a repair shop owner who, for some reason, gave it to Rudy Giuliani. Not exactly sure how that's legal. He distributed it to the press. Particularly, I think the New York Post was involved in the spearheading of this mass dissemination of your private materials. From what it seemed like, it was a lot of private text between you and your friends, family. Your entire sort of private life was on there.
Yeah. And again, so everybody has a laptop. Everybody has a
Well, I'm
cloud.
assuming not.
No, not everybody has a laptop. Everybody has a digital life. Almost everybody has a digital life. Everybody has a digital life, pretty much. And that includes voicemails and pictures and
So it sounds like he's downplaying it.
text messages and emails and location data and, you know, everything. Everybody, you do, everybody that is here right now. By whatever means, they got my digital footprint going back decades. Over 20 years. Again, I ask anybody, you're steeped in this, and this isn't a challenging question, but it kind of makes my point. What does my laptop prove about?
That you're a crackhead. What are we talking about right now, sir? Stop this. Now he ain't got shit to say. Now he's shutting the fuck up.
About criminality or anything other than what I had already readily admitted to, completely transparent about, is my drug addiction.
Well, I'm trying to remember specifically what the most radical conspiracies that I heard. I think that a lot of people are concerned or curious about various international business dealings.
So I served.
So clearly you were on crack when you were doing all that We Are the World stuff.
On the board of well over a dozen different entities, way more than that, including major global organizations. I was the vice chairman of the board of National Passenger Rail Corporation, which is otherwise known as Amtrak. It's the largest passenger rail company in the world, which is more than just a rail company. It's also a real estate company. It's also a commercial real estate company. It's a residential real estate company. And it is
his foreign business dealings, including his ties to a Chinese energy company.
Those are my two foreign business dealings.
Yeah, because I was kind of looking into it, and it seems like the conspiracy is that through those connections that you had to these, I guess, foreign governments, they were using you to leverage pressure onto your dad.
Again,
somehow.
like what?
Well, that's the thing, is that when you're looking
I'm not putting you on the spot. And I guess my whole point is that I asked these same questions to the House Oversight Committee. I've been investigated by the House Oversight Committee, the House Ways and Means Committee.
And now you've been pardoned by your father, so we're just going to leave that part out, sir.
House Judiciary Committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee, the Senate Oversight Committee, and I have been investigated by Maine Justice, the U.S. Attorney in Pittsburgh, the U.S. Attorney in Philadelphia, the U.S. Attorney in District of Columbia, the U.S. Attorney in Los Angeles, the U.S. Attorney in Delaware, the Special Counsel's Office.
So I guess he's trying to say he's innocent. I guess he's just trying to say that he's innocent. Yeah, he's going to try to run for office, y'all.
Not one single person has ever accused me of a crime based upon anything that was in or discovered as it relates to my laptop. Not one. Not a single thing about my laptop. So this whole idea that there was some conspiracy to cover up the laptop, they uncovered 20 years unvarnished of every single communication that I've ever myself and my own struggles. And they just simply conflated the two. They said, well, Joe Biden fired the prosecutor in Ukraine to benefit his son. Completely debunked. Person that said that I took a bribe for that happens to be a guy named Shokin, who is in prison for lying to the FBI on a form FD 1023. In prison. Admitted to it. Admitted that he was enticed into making it up on behalf of the Trump team side. The only other guy that came up and said that there was
someone else's private property. It can be perceived that way, but again, he hired me to do that.
Number one, I literally have no memory of ever dropping my laptop off there. Okay, this guy swears that I did. Okay, regardless, to your point. Okay, this is Wilmington. That laptop repair shop is in Trolley Square. I had family that owned a business that was literally the opposite side of them. There are literally within a stone's throw of where that person is in a very, very small community, at least a dozen people directly related to my family. Every night he used to go to 2 or 3 different bars in which he could have literally turned and talked to anyone and said, "Do you know how to get in touch with Hunter?"
You're talking about the laptop
repair shop guy. Somehow that doesn't happen. But
Oh, so that guy, I mean, I'm not saying he was right for sending it to Rudy Giuliani, but now he's trying to say that he could have just dropped it off with any one of my family members, or they could have gotten in contact with me. So he's the bad guy. Oh, Hunter, poor baby.
Somehow, this guy, who's supposed to be repairing a laptop, he says, decides what he's going to do is he's going to review the material, and what he sees is he thinks is evidence of a crime.
McIsaac says he also found documents that show payments made to Hunter Biden from a Ukrainian energy company that have become the center of a political firestorm.
More emails from Hunter Biden's laptop keep surfacing.
I want to know where Hunter Biden's laptop is.
Let's get the truth. What's in this laptop?
Now, again, the evidence he thinks is of a crime is my drug use. He thinks it's embarrassing. And all of a sudden, who ends up with my laptop? The one person in that moment in time that had more to gain than anyone else.
I got the hard drive legally, completely legally. Why are they worried about how I got it? Why don't they just say it's untrue?
Rudy Giuliani and his lawyer on behalf of Donald Trump. How is that possible? Does that just happen to happen?
You think that somebody that knows you may have been paid off to orchestrate some kind of data?
I don't know. And at this point, it's started to try to pick up the pieces of my life and put them back together. And like anybody that comes into recovery, you don't come into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous or anywhere else. You don't come in on a winning streak. Nobody comes in like just having won the lottery says that you're not addicted to a narcotic, illegal substance, including marijuana. And I check that box because in my mind, it was a state of mind question. Are you in the moment right now addicted to any illegal drug? Well, even though it had not been in the commission, used in the commission of a crime, even though they'd never ever fired the gun, even though I'd never bought it with the intent to do a crime, even though people buy guns every single day, obviously, that smoke marijuana. And it is equally against the law to check that box if you do, or to own a gun if you smoke marijuana on a regular basis in any way. They charged me with 3 different counts that could be up to 30 years in prison. Those are the 2 things. And this is...
It wasn't his fault. In his mind, he wasn't addicted, so it's not his fault. That's what I'm hearing. Is this supposed to be a comeback story so that everyone can say, oh, poor Hunter. Oh, you poor thing. Yeah, you're very intelligent, man. We heard you. We're going to go ahead and nominate you to be the next president of the United States for the Democratic Party, John.
Obviously, a special counsel that had come to an agreement with me and a plan in which I would have a diversion agreement and a plea agreement. And they blew it up on purpose at the behest of the right wing.
I got sober in 2019. So the acknowledgments in his own words, he read his audiobook, are that, hey, I was not sober when I was not off drugs when I was purchasing that gun, which is illegal.
My whole point of all of that is that was the culmination of years of investigating me. Nothing about Ukraine, nothing about a laptop, nothing about my father, nothing about bribery, nothing about China, nothing about children, nothing about nothing. None of it.
Then what's the pardon for, buddy?
I'm on your team.
No, I know you are. And
you heard that, right? You heard that. I'm on your team. Wow. Some unbiased interviewing right here.
None of it.
I'm on your team.
No, I know you are. And I get so tired.
I'm about to shut this shit down just from that right there. Not that we didn't already know. Not that we didn't already know. Then what is the point? He might as well just came out and just made a fucking video like a hostage situation to say all this shit. Wow.
I'm not saying to you, but it's just like it's like spitting into the wind, man. Like, what's the point? Like, it is just like, how do I fight against New York Post? How do I fight against Fox News in their echo chamber? No matter what I say, they can say whatever the hell they want to say, and they know it. They absolutely know it. They can say whatever they want to say. For over a year, I was the #3 most spoken about person on Fox News without having done anything in 3 years. Like me personally, I have not left the country. I had not left the state of California. I had not left my house on more than 2 or 3 occasions.
Oh yeah, because his wife took his clothes.
For the simple fact of not being harassed. I literally sat in the garage by virtue of my choice and my desire and painted for 3 years. And then they accused me of crimes for painting.
What do you mean?
Well, that I couldn't sell my paint. That it was a clear conspiracy to launder money into it's people and decision makers in the cabinet of his father.
Mm-hmm. Now, the launch party on Saturday night included a who's who from the Trump cabinet with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Attorney General Pam Bondi, SEC Chair Paul Atkins, Dr. Oz, and a lot of others.
What is that other than literally the sale of influence? And by the way, that's just like a side thing for them.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, that's what we know about now.
Exactly, yeah. And that's the stuff that's out in the open.
Yeah, stuff you can Google. And then you can kind of get to the bottom of it. And so I was really curious, going back to when those contents of the laptop first leaked, I want to help the audience understand the anatomy of a smear. Because we know that there was nothing in those files that was significant enough to hold
smear campaign, child. It was a smear campaign.
You liable for any criminal prosecutions. But how does it work? Because we know that it went from the repair shop man to Giuliani. Who were the first journalists to take that story and make it the massive story that it was?
Miranda Devine at the New York Post.
Miranda Devine is on the case in her book, Laptop from Hell.
Has made an entire cottage industry in 2 books and her own podcast now. And she's an Australian journalist. I don't know when she came to the New York Post. She's worked for the Murdoch Empire for, I think, in some form or fashion between Australia and the United States.
So those 2 things are interesting. So you have New York Post, which is definitely based upon ad revenue and clicks as more of a tabloid. And then the Murdoch family is a bit of a deeper agenda with more committed investors.
Yeah.
Were they different or were they together?
I don't know enough to know. Has reported that I was from witnesses that I am in rehab, or that I was seen at an Airbnb, or that I had bought a home in Beverly Hills and crashed a Ferrari.
How many times? 500?
I mean, I'm really not joking. I mean, dozens and dozens of times.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe 30 times.
Yeah. It just became a moneymaker for them. It just became, I think Miranda Devine said it's the #1 revenue generating story in the history of the paper.
Shout out to her for getting her bag. Prince, appreciate you. He says, so we're just going to forget that your dad admitted on video to committing quid pro quo in Ukraine for you, and that Trump got impeached for asking about it. Yes, because he's a crackhead that has empathy and sympathy for everyone. And use this dude to do this interview because he's on his team. Thank you. Nicole, I still can't believe he was dating his brother's widow. And was. Yo, I think you're right. Hunter is jealous that someone has a better grift. He's doing it now. He's trying to come back. He said, I'm going to use my own name to try to make some money. Allegedly. Ooh, Lord. They're getting on my nerves.
In your local newspaper or, in a magazine article that went away, but by everyone over and over and over again. White House and covering for the leader of Saudi Arabia in the murder of Khashoggi, collecting $2.1 billion investment. When he was doing that and they were selling golden sneakers and Bibles to people off their donor list, the New York Times was still writing stories about the legitimacy of me deciding that I wanted to be a painter or not.
Well, as you mentioned, it's a business. Businesses are profit driven, and they know that there's a bigger appetite, a larger media market that's going to prefer to hear about Hunter Biden's potential artistic career after the scandal versus a typical, Kushner, Trump family corruption thing possibly happening in a different country. They know that, Trump's audience is going to be more hungry for anything about you than about, can I meet your dad one day? Or he still has to comment about what it's like being Tom Hanks' son. I remember he said he was getting a haircut, and the guy was like, yo, tell your pops I love Forrest Gump. He just walked out. Because it was round 1,000, and I take it that you've had a similar experience.
Yeah, I can't judge, anybody else's relationship with their dad every day, and he's going out every day. So,
did you kind of see him dropping out of the race? Did you see that coming?
No. I thought that we had cleared all the hurdles that they had set up for us, and so. If you remember, it was a horrible debate, and there's no arguing that it was anything but an absolutely horrible debate. And I think it scared the shit out of a lot of people because they were already concerned about his age. But as I say about everybody, the thing that we're going to have to grapple with as a society that's bigger than Joe Biden is this: how we handle people that age in front of our eyes and recognize that they may have lost a physical step, but that does not mean they don't have the mental capacity to continue to do their job, and whether there still should be to be valued. So my dad grew old in front of everybody's eyes. And the difference between whether or not you thought that he was politically viable based upon your own biases, or whether you thought that he was politically capable based upon his accomplishments. Just remember, Joe Biden got 81 million votes. And it wasn't because of Donald Trump that Joe Biden got 81 million votes. Joe Biden got more votes than anybody that's ever run for president in the United States before, by a large margin. I mean, just think about it this way. The maximum number of votes that Barack Obama got.
Who cares? Sir, we do not care. Get to the point.
From 16 years ago, living in Beverly fucking Hills, telling the rest of the world what black voters in South Carolina really want, or what the women in the waitress living outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin really believes. I mean, who the fuck? I mean, I can't believe that we do this over and over again.
Yeah.
Or I hear Rahm Emanuel is going to run for president. What a fucking, David Axelrod's going to run his campaign for him. That's like, oh boy, there's the answer. There's the fucking answer. Genius is all.
Sound like he don't like fucking Democrats right about now.
All of the things that they've won. You remember this, is that everybody talks about Joe Biden now as if he was somehow the choice of the Democratic Party. Bullshit. We lost Iowa. We lost New Hampshire. We came in second in Nevada. David Plouffe and David Axelrod went on TV. They said that there's no way Joe Biden can get the nomination. Not a chance in the world. Mike Bloomberg is going to crush him in California. Elizabeth Warren's going to beat him in Massachusetts. There's going to get wiped out in Texas. He doesn't have the money to run. A lot of rural voters said, fuck you, we love Joe. A lot of urban voters said, fuck you, we love Joe. And they voted for him overwhelmingly. And not only that, everybody said, well, he'll never be able to beat Trump. And then they said, well, he'll never bring us out of COVID. And then he said he'll never be able to pass bipartisan legislation, and he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and he's living in a different generation, and he's living in a past time, and over again. David Axelrod would go on and say, the thing about the president is that he is just a man whose time has passed by, and he doesn't understand Congress. We passed bipartisan legislation more than any presidents in Lyndon Baines Johnson, and who had a supermajority in both the House and the Senate, with Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. And who did that?
This is amazing.
That didn't happen by magic. That didn't happen in the Obama administration. That happened because Joe Biden got on the phone with Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer and the rest of the party and Republicans in the party, and he passed a fucking bill because Mitch McConnell didn't stand in the way like he did to every other president other than Joe Biden. And he got it done. He did it. Him alone. And then they said, well, look, it's all going to come down to this State of the Union speech. It's going to come down to the State of the Union.
Why is he talking about his damn father? I thought you should be talking about your crackhead self. Thank you, College. He said, Hunter mad. Again, yeah, he definitely is. sir, talk about your ass. Talk about your ass.
And so he gets over the hump. He goes and does his Stephanopoulos. Everybody's okay. That's not enough. We got to see him give a press conference. For what? You remember that? It was about a 2-hour-long press conference, and he gave a tour de force around the world history lesson about the existence of NATO, Russian aggression, and Ukraine. They said, okay, well, wait. He's got to go give a speech in. He's going to speak to the NAACP because the NAACP and the Hispanic.
Oh yeah, we remember that. Shout out to the colored people.
And the caucus, the Black Caucus, said, if you fuck over Joe, don't count on us. Because you know what they're doing? They're trying to take South Carolina away as the first primary state. The first time in history that the heart and soul of the Democratic Party gets to have its voice heard first. After 50 years of Iowa and New Hampshire with 3% Black population states.
I thought it was less.
Less than that.
New Hampshire's got to be closer to 1.
Closer to 1.
I saw a few blacks.
Finally, and you know what? You know what you have? You have the Pod Save America motherfuckers saying, I don't think South Carolina, was only there because of Joe Biden, and Joe Biden would get, and that's what he did to save his own self. Why should South Carolina have the? What the fuck? I mean, are they out of their fucking minds?
So
Anyway.
moving forward, you feel like did he want to drop out?
No. So we got to Nevada, and he made the speech before the Black Caucus, and then right before he was about to get, which was rousing success, and he then was going to give a speech to the Hispanic Caucus, who was in Las Vegas at the same time in Nevada. And he woke up in the morning and he had a severe case of COVID. And the pictures of him getting on and off the plane were just devastating. And then the vultures descended. George Clooney's, came out with his, maybe it was a little before that, with his op-ed. And then you had all the money people. And then you had a whole host of other people that had, I guess that, Truman saying it could be applied to Joe Biden more than anybody else. If you want a friend in Washington, get a dog.
Why is George Clooney always saying shit? I thought he was just acting in Ocean's 11 and stuff like that. He's seriously been saying shit.
Yeah. Here's what he said. He said that the president needed to be introduced to him at a fundraiser that he was ostensibly the host of. There's this gigantic fundraiser in which George Clooney wasn't really the host. He was the entertainment, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, God bless him. I appreciate when entertainers and movie stars and people of conscience and that are on our side want to do raise money and stuff like that. If you're with the president at any given time, have you been like at a rope line for the president or anything like that? Anyway, what happens is that you go to people come to take pictures, and usually before or after an event, the president will line up. People will come and they'll take a picture with him. And they'll say hello. And there's a person that stands next to the president, and they say, "Mr. President, George Clooney and Julia Roberts." Hey, George, Julia, how you doing? Mr. President, Andrew Callahan. And you may have been filming him all day, and he may know George for the last 30 years, and he may have met him 15 times. But the guy on his shoulder, who's usually a military officer, has one job, to say the name of the person that's walking up. That's it. And George Clooney is now, to rationalize why he attempted to cut the knees out from a sitting president, the most successful president in the history of his party in his life. And
the most successful so Joe Biden was the most successful president in his party. So what about the Negro Obama, the alleged Negro Obama? So Joe is better than Obama. Joe is better than Clinton. Wow. I didn't know that, y'all. Did y'all know that?
In terms of legislative policies that he wanted to see passed, had to justify somehow him going above and beyond to write an op-ed in the New York Times to try to force the sitting president of the United States out of the race. And so he makes up this story about how the president had to be introduced to him.
Oh, like he didn't recognize George Clooney?
Exactly.
Because of like dementia or something?
Oh, I don't know. Well, that's the implication, right?
Yeah. Like he's forgetting things.
Yeah. And by the way, I remember this story is that George Clooney wasn't going to show up to that fundraiser. And he was bitching to the White House staff and to the people, the senior staff, is that he was so angry that the president would criticize the arrest warrant that was executed for Netanyahu. And the president, when asked, said, would they arrest Netanyahu if he came to the United States? And he said he would not have the authority, nor would he do that. And I guess George Clooney's wife was the principal architect of that arrest, of that warrant for Netanyahu. And I don't judge that in one way or another, was the right thing or not. He was very, very angry that my dad did not, I guess, pay homage to her or something. I understand, defending your wife or something, but I mean, I saw the text messages that he wrote, reams of text messages, like how dare he do that? And he kept promising that he was going to embarrass the president and pull out of the fundraiser.
Before we continue about the vultures, I have a George Clooney story. Hopefully we can leave it in. My only really famous Hollywood friend is actor Jack Black. This is a day after the yell something to the band and and so the tour is canceled.
Fuck him. Fuck
Hollywood actors voice more progressive opinions, but
fuck him. Fuck him and everybody around him. I don't have to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking, I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his fucking life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the fucking New York Times to undermine the president at a time in which, by the way, what do people care about the most? Why do you think that the Republicans have an advantage over us? Because they're unified. They will go along with anything. I wasn't asking anybody to go along with anything. I was asking people to go along with this. The most successful administration in my lifetime, and I'm including the Obama administration.
The most successful of his lifetime. He's 1 year older than I.
The most successful administration in my lifetime. And I'm including the Obama administration, I'm including the Reagan administration, I'm including every administration in my lifetime. We have gotten more done for the agenda of the things that your generation and my generation cared about than any president in history. And we didn't get it all done, but more than anybody else, with the slimmest majority ever. And everybody said that there's no way that he's ever going to be able to do that. And you know what George Clooney did? Because he sat down, I guess because he was like given the blessing by the Obama team or the Obama people and whoever else, and David Axelrod and whoever the fuck else, is to go, okay, yeah, you know what? We are going to insert our judgment over yours. Me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 fucking years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of fucking David Axelrod. And David Plouffe, and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior fucking speechwriters in, on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40, $50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times, how to pass more.
Sir, that's more about name recognition. Please stop this. That's why Maxine Waters is still in the house, because what the fuck is she doing? No one has ever told me what the fuck it is that she's doing yet.
Legislation that any president in history, how to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his.
Not to mention, too, about actors. When actors take up very staunch progressive opinions, it gives working class Americans the perception that left-leaning beliefs are elitist, because they're seeing all these rich people that they perceive to be these untouchable celebrities and the shining lights in the marquee as being liberal. So it's really easy to market conservatism as like a working man's countercultural thing.
And what was the one thing that Joe Biden...
Yo, you see that where that lady was all up in Leonardo's face? Ain't that the lady that Amazon dude just married anyway? Oh, shout out to Leonardo.
No one ever could pin on him.
That he was
a left-leaning, rich, liberal elitist.
Yeah.
The one thing that Joe Biden was not, that they could not take away from Joe Biden, he was the stuttering kid from fucking Scranton that fucking worked his way up, and that he said some fucking things that were a little impolitic at times. But you know what? He reminded me of my dad, not my idiot dad, but my dad who brought us through the tough times. And I knew at the end of the day that Joe Biden actually cared about me. And you know what? I think Joe Biden is a little bit as confused about what transgender is as I am. But you know what I know that he also is not going to do? He's not going to beat the shit out of my kid if I decide to let my kid be transgender. But he's going to say, I don't care.
Let your kid be transgender. What? Hunter, what are you talking about, sir?
Explain it to me. You know what I mean? Like, explain it to me. That's who he is. He's the guy that's going to be asked in an interview when he was vice president, well, what do you think about marriage between a man and a man? And he's going to say, I think love is love. Doesn't mean that he has to necessarily understand it, but all he knows is his own personal experience. But he wasn't shoving it down your throat like George Clooney shoving it down your fucking throat.
Also, I know you're a man of peace now.
Who says that?
Well, but if you did see Jake Tapper, would it be time for a little bit of a schoolyard fight?
Look, man, I mean this sincerely. It's almost not worth commenting on it because he's completely irrelevant. And I really mean this, who's Jake Tapper's audience? Jake Tapper?
My mom or something? I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
For real, though. I don't even think it's your mom anymore.
No.
By the numbers, what influence does Jake Tapper have over anything? He has the smallest audience on cable news. And beyond that, I think that the book is right now on Amazon that he put out. I mean, his ratings just went to shit after he put the book out. You know, they did a 2-week infomercial.
Is Jake Tapper on, what is he on? Is he on, what is it, where Joy used to be? I forget. MSNBC? Shout out to Reaper. Appreciate you. You said a crack ass 304 and a laptop walking to a cracker 304 and a laptop walking to the White House. Child, this is crazy. He's a little upset. CNN? Okay. Because CNN is sucking. It's not, you trying to blame Jake. They suck. Hunter, this did not help anyone. Hunter, maybe I don't listen. I don't think this helped anyone. Because there's no way that he could actually run for president after he insulted everyone that has to do with the Democrats. There's no way. There's just no way. He insulted everybody. Those are the people with the money, you jackass. So they just supposed to just give their money willy-nilly and have nothing to say whatsoever. Just keep giving the money. That's all. You do what you want. We have nothing to say. George said, if you want me to give my money and have my influence, so did Leonardo. They said, we're going to get something out of this shit. He over here talking about F everybody. Oh, no, you will not become the nominee for president, child.
For it. I mean, it was such a money grab, such a disservice to everybody that he serves with, that the journalism that he purports to take part in. And he's very personal. He has a real problem with me. He does this whole rant about how I was the acting chief of staff and that I took control of the White House and I orchestrated this cover up of my dad's health and well-being at the same time as who would ever trust a person like me that was a crack addict that got their sister-in-law addicted to crack cocaine, things that he has no notion of or idea about in personal, I'm like, geez Christ, Jake, grow the fuck up.
Well, a lot of these dudes now, you can
like, really? Is this a personal thing with me?
I feel like this is the Trump era now. You're seeing a lot of like liberals and progressives kind of start to shift a little bit right, or at least.
Oh, so now it's Trump's fault, sir? Wow. Do y'all think that Donald Trump knows that he has so much power over so fucking many?
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Go where you're being a racist! Racist!
Does he know? Shout out to Prince. He said the Coca-Cola is starting to kick in on Hunter for sure. But this bozo ain't much better, honestly. Woo, Lord, help your people.
Just capitulate to right-wing tendencies because they're following power and capital. Like, I don't know if you've seen this A24 movie recently called Warfare. It's a really good movie, but it's borderline like valorizing Iraq. Like, he was towards the same company that made seeing money move right. So I'm not surprised that somebody like Jake Tapper, who's probably concerned about revenge.
That's it. And by the way, again, it all comes down to money. Every single thing is that you can see the choices that these.
Oh, it all comes down to money. So maybe that's why George said that y'all are effing up and don't be wasting my money.
People make. What is the historical value of a book that is not sourced? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know of any on the record source of any significance other than the story that's being repeated over and over again, which I can tell you I was there. I watched George Clooney be introduced to my dad with 30 other people in line. And the guy said, Mr. President, George Clooney and Julia Roberts. That's it. That's the story. There's dozens of witnesses. Yeah. Other than that story, there's literally no sourcing. So what's it about? It's about money. It was a money grab. Jake decided I could basically do this infomercial. I'm going to pick up the entire right wing because they're going to want to read this book and they're going to do exactly why they're not reading it. They're not buying the book and they're criticizing them. But what they're also doing is they started in Congress. By the way, the party is going to implode. If you do one of the things that Donald Trump does 35 fucking times a day. Did you see the other day when Donald Trump pointed to the Declaration of Independence and said, I'm against war. I think we could have saved 600,000 lives in the Civil War.
You look right up there. I don't know. See the Declaration of Independence, and I say, I wonder if the Civil War. It always seemed to me maybe that could have been solved without losing 600,000 plus people.
As if there's a connection between the Declaration of Independence and the Civil War. But can you imagine my dad did that? Can you imagine if he opened up that treaty with the Prime Minister Starmer at the G7 in Canada and all the pages fell out and then he said that he just signed a treaty with the European Union with the Prime Minister of the UK standing next to him? Can you imagine? And then if he got on a plane and said the reason that he was going home early from the G7 is because he had a major announcement the next day, and then the next day he put up a flagpole. Can you imagine any of those things?
So you're saying...
Where the fuck is Jake Tapper? Where the fuck is George Clooney? George Clooney's making money off a play because he's such a God's gift to the defense of democracy that he is doing a play on Broadway for us. Thank you very much. He was given a choice. We are going to fight you every step of the way. The party is going to implode. We are going to have a floor fight. We are going to attempt to stop you. We are going to challenge you. We're going to have the Black Caucus, the Hispanic Caucus, the progressive wing of the party against the liberal elite money side of the party. And that they were going to try to dry up all the money. And so they decided that they were going to do a nuclear option. So Joe Biden, I think, did the most selfless thing that I know of any politician in the history of this fucking country did. He stepped aside to save the party. And in that void filled the only person that he would ever endorse out of the gate because he chose her as his vice president. There's no choice in that. And by the way, I love Kamala Harris. I think that she would have made an incredible president.
Nigga, we don't care what your crackhead ass self. Child, oh my God. Joe Biden does everything right. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, I guess, it's his son. He pardoned him for everything. He ain't got nothing to worry about, so he can come out here and talk his shit.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black.
What if that girl did used to belong to Clooney? Clooney got a foreigner, Imal. I think her name is Imal, right? Come on, child. This is almost over. I can't believe I found a way to get through this shit.
I know that she was an incredibly loyal vice president, and she did everything that she could to support my dad, everything, and to support me and my family personally. I mean, I truly love her like family, and I think that she would have made an incredible president, and I think she ran an incredible campaign. You know who did not want Kamala Harris to be president and did not want her to be the nominee? Nancy Pelosi didn't want her to be. None of Nancy Pelosi's people wanted her to be.
Oh, is he out here giving up tea? Come on, Hunter.
And did not want her to be the nominee. Nancy Pelosi didn't want her to be. None of Nancy Pelosi's people wanted her to be. They wanted an open convention. They wanted a floor fight. They wanted I don't know what the hell they wanted, but they wanted to be the ones to anoint whoever they were going to anoint to become the next president of the United States.
Who do you think that would have been?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have any idea. All I know is that they definitely did not want Kamala Harris. And again, which undermined her, which undermined the campaign. You know, I mean, I look at these people and talk about like, well, where were they? We had 100 days. She got 100. She literally was handed $100 million check. She ran her ass off. She had an incredible organization, incredible grassroots organization. David Plouffe took over the campaign. You know, what did they do? Where did they spend their money?
Those camo hats, they thought were going to make the kids go crazy, but most of the kids are pretty Palestine pilled.
Look, I'm telling you, one of the reason I think that whether, you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist completely, but I don't know what happened in that election. I don't think that it was her fault. Necessarily. I don't think that it was anybody's fault except this. One of the reasons that people would stick with my dad is because of the loyalty that they had to him. And you had to be unified. You have to make it feel like you're part of something. What they proved, what the Democratic Party proved, is they have no guts. I mean, by the way, I say party. The elite, white, ultra, I wouldn't even say liberal because it's not liberal. The old school moneyed liberal wing of the Democratic Party.
Like the people who donate to the colleges.
The people that donate to the colleges, the people that donate to the multi-million-dollar checks to the DNC and the DCCC and the DSCC, the Schumer people and the Pelosi people and those people, not the rank and file of the Democratic Party, not the Black Caucus, not the Hispanic Caucus, not the progressive wing, not the people that came out for AOC and Bernie and those people. I'm talking about not the heart of the Democratic Party, but the controlling interest of the corporate side of the Democratic Party. They proved to America that there is no loyalty in the Democratic Party. 81 million votes in 2020 was all about Donald Trump and nothing about Joe Biden. I'm asking this question. If that's the truth, then what? Did people become more comfortable with Donald Trump after 34 felony counts at January 6th and a civil lawsuit in the E. Jean Carroll case?
I think a huge issue too, especially in my generation, was like the post-October 7th Israel-Palestine situation. I think there was so many people that felt like that was kind of like the BLM 2.0, you know, with the campus protests and
where are they now, Andrew?
Who
those protesters?
Some of them. Well,
when he said that he's going to turn Gaza into a Trump branded golf course, and he's on track to doing that. He said that he would have the conflict, the war over the day that he took office. More people have died in Gaza between when he was inaugurated and today than at any time between October 7th and when my dad left office. Our allies will trust us on anything for a long while. But here in the United States, in terms of the guardrails to
parties dead.
No, I don't think the Democratic Party is dead. I think that there's some really incredible leaders in the Democratic Party. Wes Moore gives me incredible amount of hope. He's incredibly dynamic. He's so goddamn smart, and he's truly a genuinely decent human being. I love Governor Moore. I think that Tim Walz is an incredible leader. I think that Kamala Harris is an incredible leader. Whether or not they can run again, I don't know. Whether or not they want to run again, I don't know. I think that the Democratic Party, that thing that Will Rogers said, I don't belong to any organized party, I'm a Democrat, is that everybody in every election before a president or somebody is nominated to lead the party says the Democratic Party's in disarray. There's no leadership. Nobody's doing anything. And everybody, that's always been.
Child, they are in disarray because, child, they let this crackhead come out here and talk for them, child. I can't believe it. That's enough. It's almost over anyway. Lord, help your people. They let this crackhead come out here and speak on and about and for everybody. Tim Walz is a good person. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Wes Moore, child, but I don't think he could be a president. I don't even know if enough people know him. And the only reason I know him is because he's governor of Maryland. That's it. Wow. He said Tim. Wow. Crackhead gonna crackhead, I guess, child. Shout out to Johnny Lee for becoming a member. Thank you so much, man. Child, the fact that they haven't got anybody to become a member on this video is a miracle. So shout out to Johnny Lee, okay? Because I'm not disagreeing with you, JP, but It was White People's Day. So in other words, white people, y'all are born. Sorry. They couldn't take it, y'all. They couldn't take it. Woo! They let a crackhead come out here and speak. Well, Joe don't know what's going on because he probably home somewhere eating Jell-O. Jill probably about to go back to college to start working, or she hanging out watching the grandkids. Bo's dead. Rest in peace to Bo. So nobody knows. All the grandkids moved on with their life. They in school, about to go to school, thinking about school. Oh, they got a crackhead out here telling them off. Woo, that was funny. That was a little funny. Come on, y'all. That was a little funny. A mess.com. Nah, Hunter, you can't run for president, boo. I mean, you can, but you're not going to get it. It's going to be Shelley. I'm going back to put my money on Shelley. I can't even believe it. Wes is Jamaican, is he? I didn't know that. That's okay, I guess. They went from a Republican governor to a Democratic governor. I just don't think he's ready for presidency. They got a lot of issues. Shout out to whoever sent me the interview with or the video of BT talking about Jasmine Crockett. I don't know if I'm gonna do the video, but we shall see, y'all. I'm done. I'm tired. They bored me to fuck to sleep. 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm never this tired after 2 hours and 20 minutes. I had to listen to this crackhead crack all daggone night long. Anyway, I usually don't do Wednesdays either, so that's probably the reason why I asked. So anyway, y'all, I'm done. Shout out to everyone. That interview was more messy than much on. I know that Crimson had Tommy Sotomayor on. Maybe we'll do that for lunch tomorrow. Maybe. Anyway, we'll see. We on for lunch tomorrow, y'all. On for lunch for Friday. Probably around noon, 1 o'clock EST. All right, just FYI. Shout out to everyone that donated today. I appreciate you. I see you. I'm just gonna have to go ahead and give Johnny Lee a sponsor, because child, to become a member on this stream is a miracle. Okay, shout out to all the other channel members though. I see y'all. I appreciate you. Like the video, make sure you subscribe if you are new. No outro, because child, I'm taking a shower, I'm getting in the bed, and hopefully y'all will do the same. But I will be online if anybody is online. I see y'all there. Thank you so much. Thank you for hanging in there. I see you.